Right. All right, man. First of all, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, Bashem Chakwadash. I want to give double honor to the elders, the apostles of GMS, and Shalom out there to the whole correct Christian truth and all sincerity, man. We're just gonna get jumped straight into it, man. You know, this whole Russia-Ukraine thing continues to go on. Russia's making some power moves on the earth, right? And really putting Europe in a stranglehold, right? And the Camorra is really choking them out. And the US is jacked up, right? Because they're fools at the end of the day, right? And everything that's being done is really to collapse the society, right? And to turn the tables. America, and Europe, they're going to become weak. They're getting weaker, right? And what Russia's doing with Putin, what he's doing, man, is showing their vulnerability, right? He's making strategic moves that are really destroying the rest of them, and he's not even doing much. You know what I mean? He's out there fighting with Ukraine at the moment, and Europe's not even getting involved, and the US is not even getting involved, but they're getting murked right now. It's like Putin's warring with all of them, but he's only fighting with one small nation he's fighting with, but he's warring with the rest of you, man, because you're not stubborn, right? But now he's saying, no, if you want the gas, you want the fuel and all that kind of stuff coming in from here, but you got to pay in rubles or you got to pay in gold. Now that's messing up the US economy. You know what I mean? Because they're going to shift away from the dollar. The dollar is getting destroyed right now. So like Putin's at war with the beast. Putin's at war with the beast, effectively. Even though it's like Cold War sort of kind of fight right now. It's economic. It's economic war, right? They ain't gone in with the tanks yet, right, or the missiles and all that kind of stuff. But that's gonna come, because all that can happen. Hey, it's a well-known thing, but these nations are struggling, man. What's the ask? Go to war. Yeah, So that's where it's all gonna head to. Because the US ain't gonna sit there and take all that battery they're taking. They're gonna need to do something about it. Same with Europe, they're gonna need to do something about it. And US is gonna be pressuring Europe to do something, right? And like I say, even them small hats, right? They're gonna provoke a situation, give America an occasion or a reason to go against Russia. Because Ukraine is not enough. What's going on in Ukraine is not enough for the whole world to get dragged into a war. They've already admitted it. But Russia, followed by China and that kind of stuff, everything is destroying, the West and kind of things are working right now. They're between a rock and a hard place, and it's been done that way because it's they're making decisions that are basically imploding themselves. And that's how that's what's going on right now, man. Russia's grabbing them by the balls right now, and there's nothing really man could do without kind of accepting defeat. But you got something? Yeah. God.
It's a book of Ezekiel 8.
Oh no, we'll get to that later. I'll read that later. I'll read that. Yeah. So yeah, jump to Jeremiah 1. Yeah. Yes. 7. Yeah.
It's a book of Jeremiah 51:7. Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations are drunken of our wine, therefore the nations are mad.
The Most High has had America. He established America, and they've been sitting pretty for this time, man. They have not wanted for nothing. They've been economically strong, militarily strong for years now, bossing around the other nations of the earth. Even Russia had to back out of a Cold War with them. At one point, America's been sitting pretty, man, right? But now they're starting to struggle. They're starting to struggle. They're starting to suffer. The people are suffering. Nothing ain't going right in the political sphere. Man, they're getting scandal after scandal. Opened up on man. Hunter Biden, and everyone's looking bad. Everyone's looking bad. Hillary's looking bad. Trump's always looking bad. All these characters, they've just been looking bad, man. Right, and now their economy is struggling, man. The Lord has sent plagues and pestilences upon that place, and they're they're supposed to be coming out of that, right? The whole world's going to be coming out of it, except for who's getting suffering right now? It's that Asian country that's suffering with the TV. With China. Yeah. But they ain't out of it. They're going back into it, man. But the world is supposed to be coming out of it, right? And they're struggling coming out of it, man. And now you got this whole economic warfare going on with Russia and US and Europe and all that kind of stuff. Now they're adding on the struggle, they're adding on the problems, man. Now America's in a shitty place right now, man. You know, the country's divided, you know, whether it be politically or racially or whatever, you know, they're divided. So they're not golden no more, man. It's not something you look at and think, yeah, I wish I was that. I wish I was that right now. Look how good they're doing. No, they ain't doing good. America's not doing good. Europe ain't doing good. I'm are suffering out here. The gas prices are going up. The petrol prices are going up. People are struggling. People can't put the heating on. You know? People have been losing their jobs. P&O trying to sack bare mans off the workforce because they didn't want to pay them. They wanted to get foreign workers in and pay them less. Just sacked all of them. 400 people or something like that. You know? People are suffering out here, man. This is not a good time to live in. Oh, no.
It's the book of 2nd Ezra 16 and the 38. And it starts at 37. Say, oh, behold, the plague draw nigh, and they are not slack, as when a woman with a child in the 9th month bringeth forth our son within 2 or 3 hours of our birth, great pains compass our womb, which pains when the child comes forth, they slack not a moment.
The pain is only increasing. People are only hurting more, right? The pain's not getting less. Things are not getting better. Things are not going to get better. I know people thinking, oh yeah, this is just for a time period and we're going to come out of this and we're going to recover and we're going to do this and that and get back on our feet. That is not what's going to happen. That is not what's going to happen, man. Things are only going to get worse, man. This is not even going into the birthing pains, right? This is not even the strongest, part of the strongest birthing pains, man. You're in the midst of those birthing pains. You're not at the end of it yet. Things are going to get way more worse, man. All right, this is like a downward spiral. Yep.
Even so shall not the plague be slack to come upon the earth, and the word shall mourn, and sorrows shall come upon it on every side.
Sorrows, man. Sorrows on every side. Like, there ain't no way you can look and say, oh, yeah, oh, I'd be better if I was there, or, oh, this part of my life's good, or, nah, everything's getting screwed, man. Everything's getting screwed right now. Yeah, and there's nothing you can do about it. There's no control you've got. These politicians and these power people in power, they can't exert control over the situation. They're not in control. The Most High is in control. They're just following what the Most High is telling them to do, essentially, right? They've been moved in the spirit too, But obviously, it's for the collapse of the society, man. Anything they're gonna decide to do is only gonna make things worse. Okay, it's gonna draw us closer to the end, right? And that's why it makes us happy, because we ain't gonna worry about that. We ain't gonna worry about, oh, but what if the elites do this? What if they do that? We ain't gonna worry, because everything they're gonna do is what we want them to do. You know what I mean? We want them to do that. We want them to smash the economy up. We want them to cause hyperinflation. We want them to cause riots in the streets, civil unrest. We want all of that. Because what does that signify? It signifies the end. Signifies the end of this place, man. Okay, which is the goal. It's the end of this place, right? Because of course, before we get into that, the sooner the Lord comes and establishes His kingdom, man, which is the ultimate goal, right? To earn our place in the kingdom of heaven. We don't want this place, so we're happy that things are getting worse. We hope they get worse, which we know they will. But that is our mentality. We don't care. We don't care what's happening. We're not going to feel bad about it. We're not going to feel bad that people are going through certain stuff and whatever. That's just how it's got to be. We just don't want to get caught up in it. That's why we fear the Heavenly Father, man. All right. That was it. See you on the Jeremiah.
Jeremiah 51:7. Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations are drunken our wine, therefore the nations are mad.
Right, so everyone's got connections with America. They've all adopted certain ways of living and all that kind of stuff. But guess what? This whole thing that Esau's created, right, has meant that everything gets affected by one another, man. It's a world economy. It's a world, you know, they're entangled with it. They've got an entanglement going on, right? Yeah. Everyone's connected to the dollar. So if something goes wrong in one place, man, guess what? It affects everything else, right? And so basically, if one of you's fucked, any relatively big nation is, is fucked. All of you are fucked, right? It's a very delicate balance, man, that you man have got to strike. That's why you fucking up with Russia now. It's fucking everybody up, And Russia's like, what? You gonna do that? They kept their money. They stole their money effectively. They're like, oh, fuck you then. We're only gonna take rubles. We're only gonna take gold for gas. And America's like, you can't do that. Like, you're Europe nation now, you can't accept that. Don't do that. But these men need to do that, man, because they're gonna get fucking gas. The Germans are screwed, So they're gonna be under that pressure. The Germans are gonna suffer. But Russia's all right.
That's what the Bible says, especially that together with America, they're gonna turn back on against America. They're gonna shoot them.
That's right. Yeah. Those that ate bread with you, man. They're gonna be resentful because you're gonna put them through hell when they don't need to be going through hell, man. You could have had a different stance, another policy that you could have adopted. But now you went hard stance on Russia. Now that's messing with the rest of Europe, man. And so the rest of Europe are gonna suffer because of the sanctions of the US and because they're the woman on the harlot on the beast. They're the ones controlling it, so they're telling them what to do. Because they don't want to break the ties with America just yet. You know what I'm saying? So they're gonna do what they're asking of them for the most part. Whether in a little bit or a lot, depending. Because obviously, hey, like I said, the Germans, man, they're reluctantly doing what they're being asked to do. They get most of their gas from Russia, and I believe that was cut off today. I think they got cut. Yeah, at least one of the pipelines was cut off, right? And so Germany is being cut off from the source now. So now they got some minimal reserves in their own country. It ain't gonna last very long, But soon that'll be all these other nations, man, because they import most of their gas. Yeah, exactly.
More suffering over here.
But like I said, it's all interconnected, man, because America's influenced everything. It's gotten into everywhere. That's why Scripture say he heaped unto himself all people. He got everybody, man, under the umbrella, so to speak. But if anything goes wrong now in any major part of it, man, it will mess up the whole thing. Right? That's why America can't get away with just putting sanctions on Russia and then thinking that nothing's going to happen to them. The American people are going to suffer. European people are going to suffer. That is the result of your actions. But they know this, and it's done on purpose. Because this is because the Most High knew them to do that. This is the desired effect. All right, where it ends to, where it leads, where it ends. All right.
Babylon is suddenly foreign and destroyed. How from her take balm for our pain? If so, she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us forsake her, and let us go everyone into his own country. For our judgment reaches unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the sky.
Right. So the reason why you're going down, why you're getting weaker, why you're getting messed up, is because it's judgment. Right. Like I said, the Most High has raised you, elevated you into this position, not for you to hold it forever, because you're the wicked. Right? The wickedness can't rule forever. That's madness, right? The Most High has had you there for a time, but now that time is over, and the Lord is bringing you down, bringing judgment upon you because of your own wickedness. Read that again. I'm sure that's something to say.
We want this Jeremiah.
Oh, yes, I remember now, right? So everybody's looking to a way for America to recover, a way it can be healed, right? That's why every president that comes in, we talk about make America great again, build back better, and all this kind of business, right? You're all looking ways for America to be healed, to be made whole. Well, how many people have been trying to do that? It's not happening, no? Things are only getting worse, right? No matter who's coming in or doing this or doing that, no matter what moves these rich people are doing, and it's not making America stronger. It's making America weaker. Right? So there is no balm, there is no healing for America. There's no solution to the problem. You are destined or doomed for destruction, and you're in the process of being destroyed. And it can't be reversed. All right.
We want.
So you people out here that that are, you drones out there that are working for the system and all that kind of stuff, and you think, oh yeah, I want to do this for forever and get this and get that, get my house and cars and yeah, God bless America, all this bullshit. Guess what? You're deluded. You are deluded. You're living in a fantasy world, man. Right? Your nations are being destroyed. They're falling. There is no future. There is no future for you and your life in America or wherever you are. There's no future in this world, man. And that's why we are not invested in this world, man. Why invest in something that doesn't have a future? That's bad. That's bad investing, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you can make a quick buck. You can make a quick buck out of America, which most people have done. But that time is coming to an end, man. America, there's going to be nothing to invest in. It's going to be gone, right? There's going to be nothing to invest in. So the idea that you think you're going to continue in this world and prosper and live out your lives and all this kind of business, that's delusion, man. That is complete delusion, right? That's why it's better to prepare for the kingdom of heaven, man. All right, get right with the Lord. Okay.
We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go everyone into his own country, for our judgment reaches unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the sky. The Lord has brought forth our righteousness. Come and let us declare in Zion the work of the Lord of our power.
Yep.
Make black the harrows, gather the shields. The Lord has raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes.
So the kings of the Medes are the Russians, right? And who's America going head to head with? Who is America had like a notorious rivalry with? The Russians, right? From time ago, it's been about the last time you thought the world was going to get destroyed was because of the Russians, right? America's always had that hard stance against the Russians, man. Even though the Russians are kind of like the heroes of World War II. You know what I mean? They did more fighting than the Americans did. The harder battle. So, hey, America had no war on their soil. They had no war on their soil. Because the Russians sacrificed a lot in that fight. But somehow they ended up being enemies out of all of that. After fighting, the so-called Nazis and all that business, right? But now they became the enemy out of it, man, because America had to be established, and America couldn't have Russia as a rival, because Europe was through, Europe was finished. There was no rivalry in Europe, right? But Russia was a superpower still with the nukes and all that kind of stuff. So America had to appear the stronger, the mightier, right, to have that dominance in the world. All right, so that's what it came down to, and now that's kind of happening again. That's why the hooks and the doors are being turned back, and we're going to reach that later. That conflict is returning. All right? Yeah, to you up.
The Lord has raised up the spirit of the kings of Medes, for his device is against Babylon to destroy it, because it is the vengeance of the Lord, the vengeance of his temple.
Yeah, the Lord is making revenge or vengeance for his temple. Who is the Lord's temple? Who is the Lord's people? The Israelites. Right? This is all about, because when you talk about revenge and vengeance, you got to think like, what is the Lord revenging? Right? Because if he hasn't got a reason to, like, if it's just an attack, it's not revenge. You know what I mean? Because it's not because of something necessarily. You know what I mean? Revenge is usually a personal matter. It's a personal matter, right? But so what's the personals about this? The destruction of his people, the hand you put on these people. That's the personals about it. He's getting revenge for us because we can't take vengeance. We don't have no power, right? The Lord Most High Yahweh is our power. So when he's coming, or when he's sending his son to exact judgment and exact vengeance, it's because of the damage and the wickedness you've done against his people, against his children. That's why it's a personal thing. Revenge and vengeance is personal, right? It's not just something general, like, oh, because the world was wicked, so I'm going to bring judgment upon it. That's not revenge. Something has to be done to you. You know, something wrong has to have been done to someone, right? And what you did was mess with the Lord's people. You put your hand, you touched the apple with the Most High's eye. That's what you did. So that's why the Lord is coming with vengeance and coming with anger and fury, wrath, revenge and justice and all this stuff. That's because of that reason. So it shows you that the Lord isn't concerned about all peoples. You know, is about this whole story is about His people. You know, how His people came to be and how they're going to end. What they went through, which is the middle part, what they've gone through, their wickedness, their righteousness, and everything in between, right? But then the end, which is the kingdom of heaven. What's going to happen at the latter end for them? You know, that's what it's all about. Yep. Yeah.
So book of Jeremiah 2 and 3, Israel was foreigners unto the Lord, and the first fruits of his increase. All that devour him shall offend.
They shall offend him. All those that devour them shall offend him. And the Lord is greatly offended. And you can say, yeah, but it's the Lord that put you into slavery. Yeah, but that may be the case. Right? But the fact that you did it, He chose you to put the hand on us, man, means something. That He didn't have no regard on the person that touched us. He was going to destroy them. And that's why He chose Esau. Because Esau was damned. He was supposed to get that great judgment. You know? That's why he's the last one. He's the last one to put hands on us, man. He's at the greatest judgment. And that just shows you, man, the Most High knew for a fact that whoever touched them, it was like Cain, right? When Cain said, look, the judgment is greater than I can bear, blah, blah, blah. Anyone that shall find me shall slay me. And the Lord kind of put a hedge around him and said, anyone that touched you, man, you know, judgment should come upon them. You should be avenged, right? Sevenfold, right? So it's kind of some sort of protection that Cain received just so he could be preserved for a time for him to do what he needed to do on the earth. Right? So anyone that subsequently came in contact with Cain was going to get destroyed, essentially, in a big way. It's the same thing with us. Like, the fact that we're the Lord's chosen people and the fact that anyone that touches us is going to offend him, meaning that whoever came to us, no matter if the Lord sent them or not, was going to get destroyed. So the Lord's kind of set everybody up, man. He don't care about the other nations, man. He will set you up just to show His power against you. And he's shown that plenty of times. All right, but suddenly the Lord cares about everybody. He doesn't want to see no one destroyed. No, you're all getting set up, man. You're insignificant compared to the nation of Israel. So whatever happens to you is fine. It don't matter. All right, but He cares about His people. So when you do things against His people, man, the Lord's going to avenge us, man. All right, you're not.
Evil shall come upon them, say the Lord.
A bad time should come upon you, man, and that's for sure, man. Okay, bad times are coming, right? Bad times are going to get even better. You know, the day of the Lord is darkness and not light, right? So that's I mean, the scripture is very clear, very plain, right? And this is why you can't get around it. You even can't give yourself some kind of importance. The Lord doesn't give you no importance. Right, so you can't just decide for yourself, oh yeah, the Lord loves all nations, but everything is contradictory to that. You know, you ignore all the Old Testament just so you can say, oh, Yahushua came or Jesus Christ came to save everybody. But where's the context? You need the context back in the Old Testament scriptures, in the law and the prophets. For all the apostles, disciples, they quoted from the law and the prophets. But how are you going to do that then? How are you going to remove the context out of the situation, man, and just apply it to yourself?
And the Lord Himself said, "Come in the volume of the book." You know? So everything that is in the book is written of Him.
It's all relevant. That's right. It all needs to be heard and adhered to. You know, the guys that they're making up doctrines for themselves to suit them. But that's not how it works, man. You know, even the Lord said Himself, "I come not but for the lost sheep of the house of Israel." How can anybody now come in other than the Israelites? The Lord was Himself to be no universal savior. All right.
Yep. Speak about Edom. This is the book of Malachi 1 and 4. Whereas Edom says, "We are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places.
Right, so there was a point in time, because this isn't Esau's first run at ruling the world, right? He's been in power before. Romans, the Greeks, he's been in power, right? Those kingdoms are now gone. Rome is revived, but they were brought low at one point, right? They were made desolate, right? But in their minds, that they ain't gonna give up. They're gonna return to, be ruling over people, right? But the mentality, the Most High is like, bro, you can do that, or you will do that, but when you do that, I'm gonna throw it down again. I'm gonna throw you down, right? And that's what Esau's not getting through his fixed skull. You ain't understanding, like he thinks he can do something different this time. That he can extend his reign, his rulership. He thinks he got so much technology, he can extend his life forever, his kingdom forever. He can't. It's not up to him. It never has been. But the guy is so gassed in his mind, he's so proud that he believes he could overcome the curses and all the restrictions that the Most High put upon him and men in general. Can't be done.
So he's trying, harder, man, to achieve NWO,
yep.
Which is, to implant the RFID microchips to everyone,
yep.
on the planet Earth, so he can have full control, and that is to bypass hope, the Heavenly Father will,
That's right.
to his people.
Basically to usurp his power.
Yeah.
You're trying to usurp his power. Like the Lord is the one in control of all things, man. But you want to be the one to do that.
Yeah.
You're trying to usurp. You're the usurper, man. And the usurper doesn't end very well with the usurper. Yep.
But we will return and build the desolate places. Thus says the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall fall the bone of weakness, and the people against whom the Lord has indignation forever.
Right. So it's never been on the cards for you to rule forever, to rebuild and to rule. Like you're not the rightful ruler on the earth, man. So you can never keep rulership. Like so you're trying to upset all the prophecy, all the things, the blessings that Most High gave his children. You're trying to do away with that. You can't.
As you said before, he must have preserved Cain, for the later judgment. Now we understand Cain didn't come as Cain again, but he came as Edomite, which right now you see them doing. So Most High war at the end is gonna come and destroy them. So it's like a personal war.
Grudge. It's a personal grudge.
Yeah.
Remember, Cain was the first murderer, man.
Yeah.
And it offended it offended the Lord, right? It offended the Lord greatly what he did. But the Lord didn't just simply kill him. He didn't do that. Because sometimes dying is an easy way out. Sometimes, Most I wanted him to suffer. Right? And even though Cain kind of led for a good old life. I had these women, had these children, his children grow and expand and have more children, more posterity, right? But ultimately, the whole line was cursed, right? They were going to receive some great judgment that was beyond all kinds of judgments that had ever been given out before. Well, since, right? It's the worst kind of judgment, man. That his end is going to be without root nor branch. Because no one else has got that type of judgment. As a nation,
So the judgment
is greater than he could bear.
Yeah.
Right? It's not only now he's gonna have to live life suffering and going through shit, right? But now he's gonna be invested in the family and stuff like that. He's not even gonna have a family in all this, and he's not even gonna exist, So yeah. So yeah, it's like a personal grudge because as he come back as Esau's come back in the same spirit as Cain. Yeah. So he's got the same curses upon him, right? So not only is he in a position where if he gets touched, Esau can go to shit out of a bunch of people just if one man died. You know what I'm saying? He could do that. He's got the power, right? But not only that, Esau's curse of leprosy, that's that same mark upon him, right? And that same ultimate judgment upon him. Esau's gonna be destroyed without inhabitants, man. With no root, no branch, no people, right? That's what Cain had to bear, or what Cain is essentially bearing as Esau. You know.
That's Jeremiah 51 and 2.
Yeah, just read down to 14. Yeah.
Set up the standard upon the walls of Babylon, make the watch strong, set up the watchmen, prepare the ambushes, for the Lord has both devised and done that which he spake against the inhabitants of Babylon. O thou that dwellest upon many waters, abounded in treasures.
All right, so the nation that dwells upon many waters. What nation is that? It can only be America, right? Like I mentioned, America's been bossing everyone around, man. You know, who's got the audacity to say one nation to say against one other? No, they're going to put sanctions on you. You can say that. Can the Philippines go and tell America that? They couldn't say nothing. They could never say such a thing. America would laugh. It would never happen, right? But because America's in the power seat where they are, they get the ability to, or they feel like they have the authority to say those types of things. No, we're gonna put sanctions on this nation, and you Europeans, you're gonna join us. If you don't, we're gonna put sanctions against you. You know, or I'm gonna cut funding for this, or cut funding for that, cut ties of this. It's threats. It's nothing but threats. Because Esau, America is in that position where he can make those threats. You know, and it's detrimental if you don't listen. You know, so it's him. He's the one that sits from many waters, which the waters represents nations, governments, right? That's right. So it can only be America, and no one else got the power that America has. If you could tell me that there's a greater nation in America that can dictate to the world, I'd like you to tell me who that is. You know, but it's very clear that it's America, because we know this is not talking about ancient Babylon. You know, this is the daughter of Babylon we're dealing with, because it's the same Babylon that set for many waters that's written in the book of Revelation. You know? Oh, it says abundant in treasures. Well, America meant to be the richest nation on the planet. Right? I know them Chinese sweatshop workers, man, they're topping up the economy in China right now. But America is still that number one on the planet. They're still the greatest consumer nation on the planet. You know? Abundant with riches and delicacies, and it tells you that in Revelation too. So it's got to be speaking about this place, America. You know?
Even when you speak about John was after Babylon fall, isn't it?
That's right.
That's when John received the whole.
So why are we talking about Babylon after Babylon's long gone? Yeah.
O thou that dwellest upon many waters, abounded in treasures, thine end is come.
Your end is come. Right? I know we've been saying this for a long time, you know, but this time is finally come to pass. Okay, we've been watching the end for a long time because we're in the time of the end, right? But the end isn't just one day; it's been a process of time. We've been in the last days since our Lord Yahushua returned to the spiritual realm to sit on the right hand side of the Father. We've been in the last day since then, right? But now that period of time, because a day with the Lord is 1,000 years, right? So time don't work the same, right? Our perspective of time is completely different, right? But what we're witnessing right now is the ending of that end, the ending of that time, right? And it's going to end with America's destruction, okay? The head oppressor of the earth's destruction, right? And the salvation of the elect, okay? And then we're going to turn the page. Okay? We're going to turn the page, and a new era of history is going to start. A new rulership is going to start. Our Lord Yahushua's rule is going to start. The year of our Lord, you know? And this will be ancient history one day. You know, this will be a speck in time. You know, but like I said, everything has to happen in its order. Okay, things can't jump, because how can the mark of the beast be introduced back then when the technology wasn't around? You know what I'm saying? That, you know, there was, if you read into history, there was forms of things that they were doing that sound similar to what, you know, is being done today, but on a higher level, right? But they couldn't do the things that we can do today. You know, what the RFID chip can do, right? Those things weren't possible back then. So time had to elapse, man. Things had to be introduced to the world, inventions, technology, wisdom, right? It all took time to do that. You know? That was it when it okay, yeah.
On the measure of thy covetousness. The Lord of hosts has sworn by himself, saying, Sure, I will fill thee with men as with caterpillars, and they shall lift up a shout against.
You know, that's a mad image, man. You're gonna fill up your nation as like caterpillars, man. But your body's gonna be laid out. And you can imagine that if you actually look at my body and you see bare bodies laying, you know, yeah, kind of like people probably caterpillars and shit, just laying upon one another.
And also, I mean, when you're the caterpillar, coming upon your farm or your crop,
yeah, to munch it up.
Yeah, they devour everything. So that's one of the symbolic.
Yep. Yeah, so hey, I said the Lord's got judgment against you, man, against America. And it doesn't matter what you say or what you think you might be able to do to overturn that. That's you know, the Lord ain't playing that game, man. The Lord's gonna do exactly what He says He's gonna do. You know, anything that you do is just gonna bring yourself closer. Right? There's no balm. There's no healing. All right. Yeah. Grab us to 2 Ezra 16. Read from the top.
Ezra 16:1. Woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia. Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria.
Right, and these are all names for America. These names have been used in relation to this modern day ruler, right? You know, ruling kingdom. Right, Sodom, spiritually Sodom and Egypt, right? Nineveh, Syria, Babylon the Great, the daughter of Babylon. All these are, I don't know what you call it, allegories, or I say my English terms are not all that, you know, not all that, but you know, it's a representation of the last kingdom, of this ruling kingdom that exists right now, right? So that ruling kingdom is America. So this all represents America. Yep.
Guard up yourselves with stones of sack and hair. Bewail your children and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand.
Yep, your destruction is at hand. Right? No one likes to hear that. You know, we're hateful and we're terrorists, and because we want the downfall of America and all this BS, you know, but you can't see why. You don't understand why it needs to be destroyed. We're telling you why it needs to be destroyed, but you're like, nah, it's not all bad. You know, you try and justify America, man, but America was founded on blood. It don't deserve to be to exist.
That shall be cleansed by blood.
Yeah, America shouldn't be a nation of Edomites. You know what I mean? That's our people's land. You know, that's the tribe's land, man. But you stole that, murdered them, and enslaved them essentially. You know, God living on a reservation through. And you can't tell me about no fucking casinos, man. You know, our people are fool wherever you've been. You put our people in the lowest parts of the fucking earth, man. You know, we're all fucked because of you. Yep.
A sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? A fire is sent among you, and who may quench it?
All right, so who's going to overturn these things that are happening right now? Who's going to make America great again? Who's going to do that? All right, all that is just lip service, man. So you know, talking to you Americans like because that's what you want to hear. Oh, I want more jobs. You know, I want to be more prosperous. I want more money. Yeah, all that sounds good. You know, or I want to cut the tax rates, and yeah, it all sounds good. But does it happen? Has it ever happened? No, not even the great Obama didn't do shit for our people. Oh, he got everybody a mobile phone, and you know you got free healthcare now. But our people are through, man. You're poorer than ever. So, you know, you're poorer than ever, man. There's still racial injustice going on. You know what I'm saying? You can't get ahead. What's changed? Nothing's changed.
Even the time when Obama was ruling, it's like a lot of Jake were part of the street, like this police and officers.
Well, you still got Skid Row. You know, like why weren't that cleaned up? Why wasn't something done about that? Well, if something like Skid Row, which is like notorious across the whole planet, everyone knows about Skid Row in America, right? If there's something so bad happening, right? Why didn't someone just come in and clean that up? You know, put these jakes in good homes, which they didn't, didn't have to pay for, or they could sustain. You just got to live them out on the street like it's nothing, man, like it's litter, like and you're not even bothered to pick it up. That's a blight on society, man. The fact that you would allow that to happen, and not do nothing about it. That's a blight, man. You're meant to be some first world great nation, but you ain't doing shit. You ain't putting the money where it needs to go. No, you are gonna put in a fucking space program, or you want to go buy some fucking nukes or some fighter jets just so you can bully other people. Because no wars happening in America. So what the fuck are you defending? Military's for your defense, for your nation's defense, your borders. But why are you in all these other fucking countries? Why are you spending fucking billions or trillions of dollars on fucking warfare when you got fucking starving people on the streets in your own country, man? Science wrong here. Science wrong, right? It's an unjust society, man. It's an unjust nation. It's Edomites are unjust. They're wicked, right? So there's no reason why America should. There's so many reasons why it shouldn't. There's so many reasons why it should have, should have judgment against it. So you can sit there, well, it ain't all bad and shit, man. But hey, man, you're just being ignorant, man. According to the words of the Heavenly Father, man, that place should be destroyed. According to Most High's word, we should be destroyed, right? Because how we are or have been, right? But the Lord has a set judgment against that place, and it can't be overturned. Okay, it will not be overturned. All right.
Plague are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away? May any man drive away an angry lion in the wood, or may any one quench the fire in stubble when it has begun to burn? May one turn again the arrows that is shot of a strong archer. The might Lord sendeth the plague, and who is he that can drive them away? A fire shall go forth from his mouth, and who is he that may quench it?
Right, so the Most High sending something upon a place, right? It's gonna fulfill its purpose, man. Right? It's gonna complete the objective it was sent to do. Right? If a plague comes and a plague goes, well, guess what? The time of that plague was over. You know what I mean? The Most High is in control of how long it stays for, how many people it kills. How many economies it destroys, all that kind of business. The Lord is in control of all of that, right? So I know, because Esau, he'll take all the credit, man. If COVID, if the CV went away, Esau will take all the credit for it. Yeah, it's because of our hard work, and we got the jabs and all this kind of business. Yeah, they will take all the credit, man. But really, it's the Most High that he received the plague. It was time for that to be over. But guess what? Like I said, the plagues don't stop. So he gonna send another thing. Just don't think you're out the woods. The Most High gonna send something else in its place. And this is what this world is experiencing, man. Just one thing after another.
He shall cast lightning, and who shall not fear?
Oh, it mentioned about the strong archer. Once he shoots the arrow, who can return it, right? Or those missiles, when they get shot, they're not going to go back nowhere. They're going to go to the destination. Okay, the destination of those missiles, the nukes, those hypersonics and ICBMs and all of them, right? That's going to be locked on to the land of America, man. Right? That's them arrows.
Messiah is going to guide them. Right?
That's right.
Messiah is going to guide them to the large people. Press. Destination, that's what I say.
Pinpoint accuracy. Yeah, that's right. Them idiots that were talking about the missile or the arrows being actual arrows. Like, how is that even plausible? Like, no man can shoot an arrow from one side of the earth to the other. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are we wasting time? Why are you wasting time thinking about that? Straight off the bat, it's impossible, right? He's talking about the modern day missile or modern day arrows, things that are shot into the air through the sky. What are they? Missiles.
Javelin.
Javelin throw? Yeah.
Them people are strong. Doing javelin, but they can have the power that to shoot one arrow to another. Even to say another city.
Bro, even when they throw even when they throw the javelin, it's within a stadium. You know what I'm saying? Within a green. You know. So you have to get into they can't even get into the next borough. They're in another nation, just the earth. You know, to the latter end of the earth. You know, so these guys are just bug outs, man. They're wasting their time in their delusions, man. You know, he's talking about modern day arrows, man. Okay, which is shot. Which are these missiles, man. They travel great distances. They can go from one side of the earth to the other. You know, ICBM, you know, but at them trajectories, and you know, the hypersonic ones, they travel low, which makes them hard to stop. Well, they can't be stopped as far as I'm aware. They've got no technology currently that would really be able to stop those things. So, you know, all these missiles, they're gonna come and they're gonna hit their targets, man. You know, all the states, all any states in this 50, is it? 51? All 51 states, or however many there are, gone. The whole land of America has been gone. Okay, and become that lake of fire which is described in the scriptures, man. All right, completely destroyed. Now that sounds mad because even in World War I and II, that level of destruction never happened, right? As great as it was, you know, many places got destroyed, and you know they got to rebuild. But America's going to be so bad, it can't be rebuilt. It can't be rebuilt, and that's why the technology that we have today far exceeds what we had prior. That's why the destruction is so much greater, because the Lord's had them pack some power in them things, man. Right? He's had them pack some power in those things, man. So when they eventually get used, man, they're gonna be fucking devastated. It's gonna be devastating, man. And America's gonna be devastated.
This is the book of Isaiah 9 and 5. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments lowered in blood. But this shall be with burning and fury fire.
Yeah. A fire not blown shall consume them. Right? I think Elder Zachariah was talking about how these missiles, it creates like a vacuum and stuff, man. Yeah, so man, it's such a crazy technology and the destruction that's gonna happen, man. It's actually crazy, man. But it's gonna level everything, man. Set everything ablaze, melt the elements. You know, it's gonna do all kinds of madness, man. And everybody that's in America is gonna die.
As you said, I mean, like the hypersonic, they travel well. And the mid-ranges,
they travel quite low, so they can't be detected.
And then the SSBM, they come top.
Everywhere, they go around and fuck them up, man.
Nobody gonna be escaped.
But that's it. Everybody in the land of America is gonna perish, man. Save the elect, which are gonna get beamed up. They get beamed up in the chariot, man. So you can dig a bunker as much as you fucking want. You ain't surviving down there. In America, you're done for. You're finished. You know, don't matter about no bunker, no underwater, wherever you're at, man. You're fucked up. You know, thinking that you're gonna escape the judgment.
It's gonna be your own too, man.
Yeah. Like, you imagine that. Like, this is no normal level. This ain't no normal nukes and things that are gonna hit your land, man. The effects of these nukes are gonna destroy everything. Like, the earth is gonna shake and break. Lava gonna be erupting and you know all kinds of shit. Your things are getting ripped apart, man.
And the reason America big oil reserve as well. And Yellowstone.
Yellowstone.
So it's not big mad.
So you're saying you're gonna have all this lava flow going around. You're gonna have the earth moving and ripping shit apart.
Yeah.
Like, how are you gonna survive all that? You're either gonna get cooked in there, or the earth is gonna rip it apart, it'll crush you in it. You know what I mean? Like, there's no escaping, man. Everyone in America is doomed. It's doomed, man. Right? And even if you manage to survive in a little bunker, how long are you gonna stay in there for, bro? When can you come out? You ain't never coming out, man. You're dying down there. You are dying down there. And like I said, there's plenty of ways to die. You know, you don't have to be just the nukes. You know what I'm saying? Most likely have a heart attack. Right? It don't matter. Your woman kills you in your sleep because she's bugging out. She breaks, her mind breaks. Anything could fucking happen, man. You are not safe. So don't get in a state of mind where you think you're safe, man. You're not safe from the Heavenly Father. No one is. You know, can't escape the hand of the Lord, man. Right?
If I hide in the dark, I stay in the dark. You know? Believers,
When the shadow is ready to choke you out.
so wherever you can, you want to go to hide, man, Most High is there. The presence of Most High is there. You know, the angel are there.
Hey, see, but the thing is that these people think they're too wise. They think they're wise, isn't it? And on a normal level, yeah, for a man, yeah, they would be accounted wise, isn't it? But when you're dealing with the Heavenly Father right now and the prophecies and the judgment, there's nothing really you can do. The only thing you can do is put trust and faith in Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. You know, that's the only thing you can do, man. And if you're right, the Lord will deliver you, because the Lord can deliver from anything. That's the thing. The Lord can actually deliver from any situation. You know, Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego, man, they got taken into the flames, man, and they survived the flames. You know, the scripture speaks about what is it, 7 troubles? Was it 10 troubles? 7 troubles, and no evil shall touch them. Right? When the time comes, man, the men of the Lord are going to be protected, man. They're going to be delivered out of all situations, man. You know, when those missiles come, those of us that are in America, the elect, they're going to be beamed up, man. They ain't going to receive that judgment. They're going to be high above the sky, man. They're looking down on the destruction. Why everyone's getting baked, shaked and baked. You know?
Second Ezra 16 and 11. The Lord shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence? The earth quaketh, and the foundation thereof. The sea alises up with waves from the deep, and the waves of it are troubled, and the fishes thereof also before the Lord, and before the glory of his power. For the strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow, his arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the hands of the word.
So what? So what's that saying? That the Most High is going to come with us with a bow and arrow and shoot actual arrows at these other nations? Is that the breakdown? Or is he like Zeus now, going to thunderbolt, going to throw the thunderbolt down and destroy America? No, we ain't talking about that, man. You know, his Lord said he created the smith, right, for the weapons of destruction, right? The Lord has a way of manifesting things on the earth, right? So the Most High has had these men create these nukes and missiles and stuff, right? Because he's going to use them against themselves. That's the plan. That's what he's going to do. He made them make them for that purpose, to destroy them in their own works. That's what the scriptures say. To destroy them in their own works. Well, the missiles are part of their works. It's the work of their hand. You know, one that they throw around, you know, they shake at everybody to scare everybody, man. So they're going to use that same technology that kept them safe and destroy them with it.
Behold, the plague are sent, and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. The fire is kindled, and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth. Like as an arrow, like now we see the fire has already been kindled, man. Between these nations like in Ukraine and in Russia. But it's not gonna die down, it's gonna continue, man. They're gonna bring all these nations at the end, you know, to fight the war, man. The war for Armageddon, you know, and that's when we're gonna see the end of this system, you know.
And like I said, that spark among the stubble that started, man, it hasn't stopped. It's grown and grown. You know, like I said, if it's not one thing, it's another thing. The fire continues to blaze. Just because one thing's over doesn't mean it stopped. Because the Most High has got other things going on in the earth too. You know, that's working away. The angels are working and working away, man. Ready to create this whole situation that we read about in Daniel 12. You know, it's all growing to that moment, man. So don't ever think it's over or you're safe. You're already getting closer to the day of doom. You know? Yeah, with the promise of doom. You know?
Yeah.
Promise of doom and destruction, fire and brimstone.
Like as an arrow which is short of a mighty archer returneth not backward, even so the prey that shall be set upon earth shall not return again.
Yep. Let's stop there for a moment. We might come back to this because chapter's always good. But that was the point, man. You know, these, you know, America's downfall is irreversible. You know, it's irreversible, man. Right? And these current situations going on right now are just showing that, man. America's becoming weaker and weaker. Russia's got them by the balls, man. You know, with the chess match, they're playing right now. America fucked up. You know, Biden's fucked up. You know, and they're between a rock and a hard place, right? And Putin's moving more intelligently, man, more strategically. You know, because we get all that propaganda and that. Oh yeah, if you saw Putin's ill or something, maybe he is. I don't know, but it don't matter. You know, it don't matter. It really don't. If Putin dies, it don't matter. Someone steps in and continues the job. Like, the people are not necessarily important that are behind these things, you know, because ultimately the elite are the ones that are controlling these things, right? Well, on the carnal level, right? Most sides don't want to control all of it, but you know, these puppets, they don't mean nothing.
Yeah, like Putin, I mean, he believed in the political
Decade.
Yeah, for ages. Yeah, since he was, a young man. Yeah, young man until now. Man. So, Moshiach, prepare him, you know, for this job, man. You know?
I mean, I hope it is Putin, man. I hope, you know, I hope he's all right. I hope Putin's doing well. Yeah, I hope he's gonna finish the fight, man. Because hey, man, he deserves to go out in glory, or Miss Glory, or whatever you want to call it. He deserves to be the one to destroy America, man. Fuck it, you know. They have that on his title, yeah. Fucked up America, because America be fucking with everybody, man. You know, and Putin, man, he's been staunch against them. So you know, fuck it. You know,
even if you don't want to go, you want to go where we Putin, but Moshiach already prepare someone there.
That's it. It's like I say, you know, I don't support Russia and like, you know, I don't support none of these guys, man. But they all need to be destroyed because Russia's going to be destroyed too, man. But you know, he's been a known figure for a long time, man. He might as well stay and do the job. You know, he might as well be the one. You know, but the Lord's going to get all of them, man. The Lord's going to destroy all of them, man. Just America got a special judgment. You know. America's got a special judgment, man. Eventually, Putin's not going to die anyway, so fuck it. You know? Yeah.
I got a scripture saying about that. God. So these people have the planters, you know, so they can hide from the coming destruction. It's not going to be so, man. Messiah is going to fetch them there.
Yeah.
It's a book of Psalms 139 and 11. If I say, sure the darkness shall cover me, even the night shall be light about me. Yeah, the darkness hideth not from thee, but the night shineth at the day. The darkness and the light are both alike to thee. So nobody can be able to hide from Moshiach. Moshiach's eyes are at 10 times brighter than the sun. So Moshiach is able to, he can see the deep of the deep, man. Now, wherever you may be hiding yourself, seeing yourself, Moshiach is there, man.
Yeah, he would got you the RFID. You know who you are.
So for Moshiach, he the one who control the heart of the man and king, yes. So he's the one who make you to go there as such.
And those eyes are in all the ends of the earth, man. You know, the angels, they're all around. They see all these things, man. There's nothing you can hide. You know, there's no place on the earth where you can't go. Even the deepest depths that you don't even know about, or the extent of space. Well, there's no way you can go to escape. You know, the Lord's presence is everywhere. That's why it's what do they call it? Well, omnipotent. But what's the one specifically when he's everywhere? Omnipresent. He's omnipresent. So where can you go? You know. Scary, right? It's scary, right? Should be scared. Let's jump to Revelation chapter 13.
That's why you can terrify them.
Well, this is it. This is why you gotta fear the Lord, man, because the Lord is so badass. Like, what can you do? Like, there's nothing you can do.
It's a power already created you. They know you are inside and outside.
Yep. Something first. I just want to excuse the point.
It's a book of Revelation 13 and 1. And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and I saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy.
Right. So this is representing NATO, right? EU, right? These nations that are banded together and make up this beast, right? With the same beast which the whole rider from, right? Hold up.
And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear.
Right. So this leopard represents, Esau's first dominion. It was started with Alexander, who they call the Great, right? He was known for wearing a cowl, like headwear of a leopard, right? So that's what he represents. The end of that beast, the beast, is of a bear. Right? Russia is known to be that bear. It's weird how these nations, become known by these things, right? But it's written in prophecy. Like, why? Well, how did Russia become known as the bear? I don't know. Like, when was that? Are there even bears in Russia? I don't even know. There must be them. I'm just saying that. I don't know why, but it's just funny how it happens that way. Yeah, exactly, right? Right. But not Russia is known as the bear, right? And Russia is the one that's coming against this beast, this system, essentially, right? Even though the Edomites as well, right? Let's not get twisted. The Edomites as well, and they're going to be destroyed as well. But they are the antagonists of this war against NATO, and it's always been that way, right? It's always been that way. Russia's always been that big problem for the US and NATO. They treated them like, well, Europe, they kind of got in bed with them and done deals with them and that. But really, they always try to keep them at arm's distance. They're not, they're not into, not really on that level of friendship. You know what I'm saying? Because really, the US is really the one that's against them, so they can't really be that close. So
compassion. So then it is not of him that willeth, nor of him that learneth, but of Most High that showeth mercy. For the scripture says unto Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might show my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth. Therefore, as he mercy, therefore as he mercy on whom he will, on whom he will have mercy, and whom he will, on whom he hardness. He hardness. Thou wilt say then unto me, why does he yet find fault, for who has resisted his will?
Right? So the Most High has made us to use us whatever he wants to use us for, man. You know? Why are the parents angry, man? No, mad thing about it, it's like I'll go back into that in a minute, but while we was teaching, right, you know, it rained, it touched one of the buttons on the screen and it turned the mic off. So I don't even know how long it wasn't picking up the sound, man. So Salakia, you know, brothers and sisters that are watching, I don't know what Satan, you know what I'm saying? Come and touch the button with the water, you know, turn the mic off. So I don't even know how long it's been like that, but basically, like the Lord is creating us for a purpose and reason, and that's whatever that purpose and reason is. Like we don't get to choose what we're made for, you know. And a lot of the time, when you read it, it's to show the Most High's power, right? Why certain things are done, right? But that's why we kind of like we were made special. We were made special from any other thing that was created, right? So we have a particular high standing with the Lord, even though Lord, you know, jacking us up and that, man. But the Lord's got mercy upon us because He'll have mercy upon who He'll have mercy with, right? It doesn't mean He's gonna have mercy upon everybody, because He might just cause you to go do something wicked, or you know, have you be in a position that you do something wicked, right? Now you're at fault because the laws that we have, or the laws that are governing this world, affect men that live on earth, right? So if you actually do something, whether or not you was moved to do that or not, whether an angel made you do it or whatever the case may be, the fact is the law is there against men, for men, right? To be governed by, right? So if you commit murder, you commit murder. Someone has to pay for it. Ain't gonna be no angel. The angel's not bound by laws that you're bound by down here, because they don't operate the same way we do. You know? And that's what the Most High made you to do, made you for, and that's just what it is. You know? You can't say, oh yeah, but the Lord made we do punish the Most High. Are you mad? You know? No, He made you for that reason, man. Lord, you was gonna get fucked in life, bro. You was gonna get fucked up. You know? Like the fact that if I go and bash my toe somewhere, man, I was made to bash my toe at that point in time, man. You know? I don't have control over that, bro. You know what I mean? I did it, so it hurts me. You know what I'm saying? It hurts me, or whatever. Don't hurt nobody else. It hurts me, right? The same way the law kind of applies, right? It's for you, right? So I think it goes and say, "Who would thou to reply us against the Heavenly Father?" Like we're just like the dirt. Dirt is created. You don't get to decide whether it wants to be the soil or not, or I want to be a flower though. You don't get to decide. You're gonna get trodden on. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get trodden on. The ground's gonna get broken up. Things gonna sprout from you. Like, there's no choice. You're gonna do that. You're gonna nourish everything else. But you yourself, you know, you're below. You're on the foot of everybody. You know, you get to choose, man. If the Most I want to make you a doormat, you're a doormat. Get walked upon and crushed. You know what I mean? That's you know. And Esau is made for that very purpose to be destroyed, right? To show the Lord's wrath and His mercy, right? Because in us, the Lord gets to show His mercy because of the wickedness that we did. We're gonna get exempt from, right? And the Lord's gonna show His great mercy, but the Lord's gonna show His great wrath against His Edomites, man, and His divine judgment. You know, and like I said, it's all to glorify the Heavenly Father and His Son. That's what it's all for. Now you can have a problem with that. Well, guess what? It don't matter. What you feel is a problem doesn't concern nobody, man. Ain't no one worried about that. You know? Yep.
So the book of Ecclesiasticus 33 and 13. As the clay is in the potter's hand, as the clay is in the potter's hand to fashion it at his pleasure, so man is in the hand of him that made him, to render to them as like as his best, like as in best.
Yeah. For his own purpose. Right? If he wants someone that he can later destroy, so that's what he's done, isn't it? You know? Who didn't grow up and you know, or even now, like you build things and you break things, isn't it? You know, people build buildings and people crash them down again. You know, eventually that's what's going to happen, right? You know, it's the same for these nations, man. They have a purpose and they will serve their purpose, whatever that purpose may be. You know, but the majority of you is really to serve the nation of Israel. And Esau is going to serve, but he's going to be destroyed at the end of it, right? That's what he was made to do. You know, to be. And none of us can say nothing about it, man. You just have to accept that. You know, we just happen to be in a lucky position. You know, the Lord has blessed us, man. You know, and again, like you could decide that you don't want to be blessed, but guess what? One, you're a moron. But two, like because some man thinking Israel's a downgrade, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, you can think that, and you're a moron, right? Or that's what the point now, right? You know, but we don't get to choose that. Like you can't not be an Israelite. It's not a choice.
You know, we want Israel. It's not Israel. Maybe it's Edom, you know? Or something as a different nation. I don't know. That's why you have to say what
you wouldn't be the first one to deny Israelite heritage, but yeah, man, nah, being an Israelite, bro, like you couldn't be any luckier. Well, you can be lucky. I'm gonna correct my statement. No, you can be an Israelite in the truth, right? The one who the Lord impart understanding on. You know, because not all Israel's going to be saved at this moment in time. You know, overall Israel's lucky in it because we're all going to be saved eventually. But you know, there's a higher level of being an Israelite. You know, being the Lord's elect. Okay.
So we go back to the book of Ezekiel 8 and the 3 is the word. And it says, thus says the Lord power, behold, I am against thee, O God, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal. And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords, Persian, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shields and helmets.
Right. So you know, like I said, the Most High is against Russia. Right. So we know that Russia is not going to prevail either. Right. We don't want them to prevail either. You know what I mean? They ain't going to prevail. But you know, the Most High is using them to rally up military might in the earth. They've been gathering technology and missiles, you know, the system defenses and that kind of business. They've been getting together allies. You know, why is that? In an age of where we're meant to be in a peaceful age, so called, right? Why is things going the opposite way? Why are more alliances being made? Why are more money in military being done, being used? Why more missile technology being developed? All this type of stuff. And you can't say, oh, because it's the Russians, isn't it? They're evil. No, because America's been doing the same thing. You know? Oh, but that's the fact, the Russians. But yeah, but who's blowing up everybody? Americans. You know what I'm saying? So you can't say we're living in an era of peace. Because it's not really. It's nothing but war, really. War hasn't stopped. Right? But America's been the cause of most of it. You know? So Most High is using Russia and the alliances, right? So if the Most High is against Russia, it's also against them that join with Russia, right? But he's against America and everybody else from America. But this is a world war, so everybody's involved. So Most High is against all of them because there's two sides of the fight. You know, you got NATO, US and their allies. You know, obviously you got men like Japan, they're allies of America. You got fucking Vietnam. You know, they're aligned with Russia, America, Australia. They're aligned with America. You know, they're all aligned in it in some way or form or fashion, right? So if the Most High is against Russia and it's against Babylon, America, right? Then that means the Lord's against everybody. Yeah, yeah. Go ahead, bro.
So the book of Isaiah 34:1 and say, Amelie, come, come near, ye nations, to hear and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the word and all things that come forth of it. For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations.
Upon all nations. The Lord's indignation is upon all nations, man. There is no righteous side in this warfare. There is no righteous warfare, right? Because America would be like, oh yeah, because God's army and all this bullshit, we're trying to save the earth. No, the Lord's against you. And he's against those that are fighting against you. So what does that mean? The Lord's against all of you, man. And the Lord is going to allow, going to force to happen great destruction in all your lands, man, to destroy your people. People they're not even involved in the warfare. Civilians, you know, they're going to perish. They're going to die. It's against them. The Most High is making this all happen to destroy them all, man. So if that don't say something, the Lord loves everybody. Then I mean, come on, man. When are you going to get that out of your mind, man? The Lord is against the earth, against the peoples of the earth, against the nations of the earth. The only people that he wants to get out of there are his elect. Right? And his elect ain't a part of any of those nations, really. You know?
I would say, what? The elect are not declared. It's a woman. Because all these nations are declared as a woman, as we have read before.
Yeah.
They have drunk the wine at home. For fornication of who is Babylonian.
Yeah.
You know? They all practice the way of America. You know? So they're gonna be part of this one. And they have what? Touched the people of Mosiah, which we are.
Yeah.
You know?
Because what does it mean when it says to come out of my people? Like, where are we supposed to go? Like, no, mentally, spiritually, we're not a part of this place. So when the time comes, man, we're going to be actually lifted out of this place. But realistically, we're here on the same land as everybody else. But we're just mentally and spiritually not a part of it. So when the Lord attacks, man, it ain't, you know, the Lord attacking this place, this earth. Be not a part of the world. Be not lovers of the world, right? Because the Lord has got a vendetta against the world, against all the nations. You know? The only ones that are going to make it out are the Lord's elect. Okay, who are Israelites. You know? Even those the small ones in the land of Israel are going to catch it, man. Even our land is going to catch fire. You know? So the Lord is obviously, you know, he's got issues, man. He's got issues with the people. Right? And you want to ignore that, like, no, he loves them. He's trying to save them. No. That's not what's written here. You know? Read it again.
What is it? For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations.
That indignation is righteous hatred. But the Lord don't hate, right? The Lord loves them. No, the Lord hates. The Lord hates unrighteousness. He hates wickedness. You know, he hates those things, and this is what this world has become: wicked and violent, and you know, all kinds of madness going on in it, man. Right? So everything is justified that the Lord is doing. He's punishing people for their transgressions, for their wickedness. Yeah.
And his fury upon all their armies.
All their armies. I say the Lord's on nobody's side, except for the elect side, and elect ain't got no army. You know what I'm saying? They're not physically in the fight. We're spiritually in a fight, but we're not in this fight. We're not in this World War III fight. That's not our fight. You know, we're the cleanup crew. You know, we were cleaning up after it. You know. Yep.
He has utterly destroyed them. He has delivered them. He has delivered them to the slaughter. Their slain also shall be cast out, and their sting shall come out of their carcasses.
And the worst place where that's going to be, I mean, America's going to be a pit of fire, but in the Middle East now, there's going to be dead bodies everywhere. You know, because that's where the bulk of the fighting is going to take place, in the Valley of Jehoshaphat. You know, which is in the Middle East. All right? Yeah.
And the mountains shall be melted with their blood, and all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be lowered together as a scroll, and all their hosts shall fall down as the leaf forest off from the vine, and as a filling and pouring fig from the fig tree.
Right. Yeah, so yeah, the Most High God is not on no one side, man. The Lord is bringing you together to mutually destroy each other, right? Because the only winners out of this is Yahweh Shai and the Israelites, you know. And like I said, that war, that World War III, is not our fight, right? That's something the Most High is doing. He's causing to create. Why would he do that? Why would he create a World War III so that everyone destroys each other? Why would he do that? Judgment, you know. Because I say it's not just military men that go to war and die; civilians die too. You know, so you can't even say, "Well, I'm not down with the war." No, you're gonna get destroyed as well. It don't matter. You're not gonna be exempt. You know, no, not all of you are gonna die, obviously, because we need, you know, hey, who's gonna put in chains, right? So some of you are gonna survive the war, but anyone that goes to the war is gonna die. But I'm saying the civilians, you know, places that are destroyed in that, they're not all gonna die because of this war, because obviously they think, oh, if nuclear war happens, the whole world is screwed in it. But no, there's gonna be survivors of this war, so you can get put into slavery, right? Because that's in the scriptures. So that's good or bad news, depending on how you want to take it. You know, but some will survive the war. Yeah, preserve them. It's not salvation, but it is preservation. So maybe you need to change the doctrine a little bit. Maybe you don't teach about salvation no more, just about preservation. Maybe you teach that, innit? That's in line. You know, you're gonna be preserved for the chains. You know, because only that's what he's gonna do to his enemies. That's what the Lord is doing to the enemies.
So you say, I believe, Isaiah says they're gonna build our city.
Yeah, build our walls, man. The sons of strangers shall build our walls. Right? So again, so we need servants for that. We need people that are gonna do that. So you can't all die. So don't it ain't that, you know, don't be too pessimistic. You know, you might get preserved. You might survive. But surviving, so you might not want to by the end of it, but you know, because how you're going to be treated for the first 1,000 years isn't going to be pleasant. You know, but you know, as I say, you brought it upon yourself. You know, for your wickedness, man. Now nobody wants to acknowledge that they're wicked and they feel they're going to be done by it, but you'll learn, you'll understand eventually. You know, we're going to make sure you understand. All right, you're going to be educated real good. Right?
It's a load of fire.
Yeah, you know, you're going to make sure you get it. You know.
Ezekiel again, 38 and the 6. Gomorrah and all his bands, the house of Togomah of the north quarters, and all his bands, and many people with thee, be thou prepared, and prepared for thyself, thou and all thy company, that's and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them.
Right. So yeah, that's basically what now, right? So like I said, we're going into that. Actually, Russia's been protecting these weaker nations and that, supplying them with weapons and defense systems and stuff like that to hold off the American onslaught, right? Because America just been attacking them these like crazy, So Russia didn't step in a couple of times and it didn't play out well. So they've been giving these other nations more equipment to defend themselves with, man, and sending in militias and stuff like that to help them fight, or whatever. Remember, so they've been playing that role. So we know in prophecy who these people are, who they're playing. We know it's America, we know it's Russia, right? And like I said, but eventually, these wars and rumors of wars, right, is going to become that third world. Right? It's a destiny that can't be shaken. You know what I'm saying? They were worried about it before, and it was put off for a while, but it's always destined to happen. That's why it's still an issue to this day. The issue between Russia and America is still here.
So put the hooks in.
That's
It's
right.
gonna turn.
Yeah.
It's gonna turn the Russians, man. so they can come and fight the war, man.
Yep. So yeah, that's all destined to happen, man. You know. So all this situation that's happening right now, that's all good. That's all good for the gospel. That's why it's called the gospel, right? Because when we see these things according to prophecy start to happen, it's like we know this is coming to an end soon, man. All these prophecies that are written are going to come to pass, man. And this world as it is right now can be over. This wicked era that we're living in can be over. You know, because I was even discussing with the brother before turning on the camera. I was watching this Disney film with the family yesterday. I only started watching it maybe like halfway through, so I didn't get to see all of it. But the message that they're pushing on these children these days, man, is like really strong now. You know, all about being rebellious, about you know, being in control of their bodies and themselves and being whatever they want to be. But the thing is, they're being manipulated in being a certain way. It's not even their own thoughts. It's not that they want to be this way. It's because you're, what's that word, man? You're influencing what they want to be. You know, you're inception. It's like that movie Inception. You're telling them that this is what you should be, or whatever. Now, your family, you might have your own traditions, man, your own customs and that kind of stuff, and you want to pass those on. You want that to continue. But here in the West now, it's about destroying everything. It's about destroying all those traditions, man. You know, like I said, he onto himself all people, right? He's really trying to corrupt everybody, right? With all this fucking bullshit that he teaches. You know, that wine that we were speaking about earlier. Everyone's drunk off that wine, right? But these messages in these movies are really strong these days, man. You know, and I'm watching. I'm thinking, what the fuck, man? Like shit's got worse. Like on the front of it, the movie seems fine, isn't it? You know, it's cute and shit, right? But the messages that are being pushed in it, man. I was thinking, no, I was getting violated in the spirit, man. I was getting vexed. Like, what the fuck is this? You know, I'm looking at my boy. I'm thinking to myself, I'm looking at him. I said to him, look, you think that's acceptable? You try that. You see what happens. You know, because they want, because obviously it's a family movie, so they plan on families sitting together and watching it. So not only is it giving subliminal, or not even subliminal, direct messages to the children, it's giving messages to the adults thinking, oh, maybe I shouldn't be like this. Maybe I shouldn't be so strict. Maybe I shouldn't push on them my way of thinking and stuff like that. So these parents are getting fucking dulled down too, watered down, becoming slaves to their children essentially, right?
Yes.
Children will us, right?
Yeah.
But so they're like caving into that pressure too. Or maybe I'm a bad parent.
Yeah, maybe I'm wrong.
You know? So it's just corrupting families, it's corrupting children, and this is why shit's getting worse, man. You know? Shit's getting worse. So this place needs to go, man. This place is fucking, it's all fucked up, man. Like, you can't even really put everything together to explain like how bad things are, man.
So the book says in Ezra 15 and 5 and 7, behold, says the Lord, I will bring plague upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. For wickedness has exceeding polluted the whole earth, and their artful works are fulfilled.
That's right. Wickedness is exceedingly polluting the whole earth, man. And like I said, Esau is at the reins of that, man. He's the one pushing it like crack out to all of the world, man. Because they say Disney's a global company, man. You're gonna find Disney everywhere, right? So there's nowhere America hasn't been and gave them that wine, you know. So everybody's being influenced by that, like, because they'll tell you that they're influenced by people, why they do these things and these programs to promote how people are. But no, it's the other way around. They project on people what they should be, and then therefore changes. It's social engineering. They project that, right? Make you feel a way about it, so you end up doing something different, like to what you was brought up to do.
I'm soft.
It's feminine and shit, you know. Oh, don't eat steak because of the cows. This type of shit, right? You eat soy, become a, you know. So then after you eat all that soy boy stuff, right? After you eat all that soy, get a sex change. You know what I'm saying? That's how mad it's like. It's accumulation of things, isn't it? It's accumulation of attacks, one after another, man. And eventually you end up like fucked up, you know.
That's why they, at the end, they commit suicide.
Yeah, because they're messed up in the mind, man. They've been attacked so much, bro. And they're destroyed in the mind. And their route that they've taken hasn't really led them to happiness. Because that's what it's supposed to be about, right? Even though you just, you know, if you accept yourself, you'll be happy. But no, it's not that you accepted yourself. You accepted the thing that they pushed on you, man. And it hasn't led to happiness. You know, it's all dysphoria in the mind, man. It's all, you know, corruption of state of mind. Confusion, yeah. You know? But that's what America promotes. Like, even in these staunchest countries, you think that shit would never happen there. Like, or like for these Muslims, for instance, like, you know, but you're gonna find shit in these Muslim countries, man. You're gonna find shit in these Muslim countries, man.
They do a lot.
They're not as staunch as you think they are. You know, all that shit they go on about, God this, God that, like, whatever. No, they ain't that fucking staunch, man. In their own nation, I know Iran does sex changes. Yeah. Like, how is that haram? What that is? How is that haram? You know, how's that going down?
They even eat pork.
Yeah. They drink, they smoke, you know, they do all that shit. They're not as staunch as you think they are, man. Even these ayatollahs and all these men that's supposed to be great men or whatever, man, they're corrupt, man. They're doing shit that you don't even know about. You know?
Muslims pray Lord.
Yeah.
The sins of all, man. But now they don't practice.
Especially if they're in the West.
Yeah, they don't practice anything. When they fast, I don't know this. What is this? Ramadan, you know? Oh yeah. Ramadan, like it's just, I mean, hypocrisy, man. You know? They just change the time. I mean, how to eat. When's to eat?
It's a half day fast.
Yeah,
it's a half day fast.
It's just tradition. That's what it is.
Yeah. You know. But yeah, man, this world is so messed up, man. And you say it's affected everybody. America's pushed that wine, that cup to everybody, and now everybody's in a shameful state. And that's why the judgment's coming upon all these people, man, because they've all indulged. They've all taken that cup of fornication, man. You know, and that's why they're mad, because they're going to get destroyed. That's why they're mad at us, because we tell them they're going to be destroyed. They don't think there's a reason for them to be destroyed, but it's because they don't understand, you know. But like I said, you will understand eventually, right?
Yeah, that was your favorite scripture, wisdom for Solomon, I believe, too. You know, they say, like, I mean, these are the.
Oh, yeah.
They what is this? I mean,
yeah, you really, yeah. You know, because Esau's having the time of his life right now, man. He's taking every advantage he possibly can, because he's got the power right now. But it all ends in destruction, man. This is what he don't understand. It all ends badly, and everybody that went along with it is going to end badly for them. You know, and he's going to be proven to be a fucking idiot.
Yeah, this is the book of wisdom of Solomon 2 and the. I'm sorry, from 14. So he prophesied to have the knowledge of Most High, and he calls himself the child of the Lord.
Right, so that's us. Like, this is what we're saying. Now we're being denied that because we're not allowed to say that, apparently. You know, how could that be possible? How could we be the sons of God? We've already got people who call themselves the sons of God. But that happens to be a corruption, man. You know, because Esau's a corrupter. He's corrupt, right? They ain't the children of God. They're imposters, like this verse goes into. Right? So we're calling ourselves the children of God. That's who we are. Right? Yep.
And he calls himself the child of the Lord. He was meant to reprove our thoughts.
So we're here to reprove your thoughts, man. Your wicked ideas, your wicked schemes, your wicked world that you built. Like, and now something like that would be deemed terroristic. You know, someone that's against, you know, the nations and societies and stuff like that. Well, that's how the disciples were looked at as. They were against the regime, right? Because they didn't have nothing good to tell them, right? They were against the things that were going on in the world. That's why people hated them. That's why they were on the run.
Even most of the time when the prophets show up, man, people always, fear.
Yeah.
Like, for example, Samuel, when he was showing up on the different areas.
Comest thou peaceably?
Yeah, coming up.
That was a question.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, comest thou peaceably? Like, have you come to condemn us? Yeah. You know? So, but that's the job. That's the role of a prophet. A prophet was only risen up because something was going wrong that needs to be corrected. Now, if you didn't want to hear that prophet, guess what? Yeah, judgment came for you, innit? You know, but it was a prophet's task to prophesy against kingdoms. As the scripture tells you that. So why is what we're doing so strange in the world today when all you two out here are meant to know the scriptures? Why does that sound strange? Because you fucking Christians, you're fucking quiet as a fucking mouse, man. You don't say shit. You're down with everything that goes on this earth, man. Now might be opposed to it a little bit, I don't know about that. But you don't speak out, you don't say nothing, and eventually your arm gets twisted and you're down with it. You don't say shit. You Christians are fucking bunch of hypocrites, man. You don't stand for the scriptures one little bit. Yep.
He was made to reprove our thoughts. He is grievous unto us, even to behold. For his life is not like other men's, his ways are of another fashion.
Mm-hmm.
We are esteemed of him as counterfeits.
We esteem you as counterfeits, man. Is that not what we're saying? That you're a bunch of liars and hypocrites? That you're not who you say you are? Because why is it Edom's disappeared off the face of the earth? That's convenient, isn't it? Right? You know, but the Israelites, they're still here though, and we're them. That's what they say. Right? But conveniently, Esau's disappeared. But he's the wicked one. He's the one that's supposed to be ruling at the end of the earth. He's disappeared. Like fucking Thanos. He was just fucking got kicked out of existence. No one knows where he went, how he went away, but he's just gone. Man, you take the piss, man. Right? No, what we're saying is that no, you're the Edomites. You're what's that word? Posing as us, right? By removing our heritage. Because we don't have a nation. We don't have on this planet Earth, we don't have a nation. We have names given to us, but we don't have our own land. We don't have a nation. We're all separated by these fucking different terms. You know, African American, Caribbean, you know, whatever the fucking terms are. Oh, you're an African, whatever, blacks, you know, whatever it is, right? But you get to have national names. You know what I'm saying? We can't just call you all Caucasian. No, I'm American though, or I'm British though, or I'm Australian. You know, which these terms don't mean shit anyway, because all of them go back to Esau, right? They don't take on their family name. They hide themselves. And so, what better place to hide themselves among or with the identity of a chosen people? You're imposters, man. You ain't doing nothing righteous on the earth. Yep.
He abstains from our ways and from filthiness.
Right? We don't want to be part of your system, a part of your world, doing the things that you do. We don't want that. You can't sell that to us and make us buy that, make us eat that. Right? We're not gonna be down with your shit. Right? That's why you have a hard time, but you're hoping that we're all gonna break and just go back into the world and be a good slave for you, man. But that's not gonna happen with the elect. The elect are gonna stand and be against this system until they're dead or until they're delivered. You know? Yep.
He pronounces the hand of the just to be blessed, and he makes his boast that Most High is his father.
Right, so that's what we're saying, man. Our end is going to be just. It's going to be just and glorified, man. It's going to be blessed. Right now, you can't say that we're blessed right now because hey, the brothers go for hard times, right? But our end is blessed, right? Because what's the end of Jacob? Blessedness, man. Beginning with our Lord Yahushua is blessedness. The kingdom of heaven is blessedness, man. Because we're blessed above all people above the earth. We're made a special people to rule. Right, so our end is blessed, man. You can't tell me that them man in the land of Israel today are blessed. They're not blessed. Everything's meant to be all gravy over there, man. But they got nothing but problems too. Why is that? I thought the Lord was with them. Fuck me. You know what I'm saying? Like if there was a more blatant lie on the earth, man, these men are not blessed. Right? Because these are nothing but the wicked that are in our land, man. Nothing but bastards in our land. Heathens. Right? Because that goes with you fucking Palestinians too, man. Because you're in there and shouldn't be in there. But don't worry, you're all going to get evicted. All of you are going to get evicted from that land.
Let's see if his word be true, and let us prove what shall happen in the hand of him.
And this is what we're all waiting for. The whole world is waiting to see if our words are true or not, because we know them to be true. But we can't convince those that are not to be meant to be convinced, right? But they hear our word, right? They don't want to accept it, but they're waiting to see if it's true or not. And the more the time goes on, the more clearer, not that they're ever going to see it clearly, but more clearer it's going to be that these words are powerful, man, and that these words are true. And how we're breaking it down is the correct way. They're going to start seeing that, man. Everything that's happening and everything that's going to happen is going to be according to what we've been speaking.
For if the just man be the son of Most High, he will help him and deliver him from the hand of his enemy.
Yeah, will anyone come to save us? Is anyone going to come and deliver us, man? Are we doing this all for nothing? Well, we'll see. We'll see, right? But we have faith that he will. The Most High will come and deliver us, man. The Most High will justify all our works. All the things that, we say and do. The Lord's going to justify them, because right now we're evil in the eyes of the world. Right? The Lord's going to justify us, man. He's going to turn, the evil that we supposedly, are into righteousness and gloriousness in this world, man. Right? You're going to be ashamed. We're going to be justified. Lord willing, we be of the elect, right? But that's not what I did. We're going to be justified in the things that we've been saying, and the things that we've been doing. And the whole world is going to be condemned. We're going to see what it is. All right? But Esau definitely going into fucking a pit of flames, man. That's right. Did we finish? What was you last?
I was in 17, 15.
Use what? Second Ezra.
Yeah, 15. I was reading about the wicked.
Oh, there's more to that. You can read more. I think we finished with Ezekiel, innit? Yeah. Okay. After that, Job 18.
This is Second Ezra 15 and 6. For wickedness are exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their artful works are fulfilled.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, say the Lord.
Oh, their hurtful works are fulfilled. And this is why time has to elapse, man. Esau has to be given the opportunity to maximize his wickedness. Because that's what he's going to do with the time. He's going to maximize his wickedness, right? That's what he knows what to do. So when the time comes, the Lord's judgment and the level of it justifies what Esau's done. Right? His wickedness has to be fulfilled. Right? That's why he's given time to do that. Because Esau couldn't just come around. Let's just say Esau come to us now, put us in slavery, but the next day he let us go. The Lord couldn't have destroyed the whole earth and everything in it because of that. Even though there'll be some sort of judgment against him, but it wouldn't be as great as to what he's done up until this day. Right? It's accumulated. He's done so much wickedness, right? That's why the Lord's going to be justified in the strength of his arm that he's going to put against Esau.
Big slap.
Biggest slap ever in history. And the Lord's going to be justified, man, because of all the wickedness that he's done. Because it's really, the wickedness that he's done is unaccountable, bro. It's really, you can't number that. Like, it's been going on so long, and the things that we know that he's done doesn't compare to what we don't know. It's hidden from us, like, but the Most High knows. You see what I'm saying? Most High does know. It hasn't escaped him. That's why your judgment is so great. That's why your end is so bad. It's not because, like, I grew up. I said my mom was white. She might be Edomite, she might not. I don't know, right? But at the end of the day, what's going to happen to you is going to happen to you, man, and it's all justified, right? And there's nothing that I can say about it, man. It's just something you have to come to terms with, because it's true at the end of the day. Esau's been evil upon the earth. It can't go unanswered. That's not justice, man. That's not balance. Right? So you can complain about it, but it just is what it is, man. Just deal with that. You can't say you don't deserve it. Oh, but it wasn't me. What the fuck do you know? You don't know what was you, what was not you. Because you don't understand things. You don't understand reincarnation. So how do you know it wasn't you?
There's a point, praise and chemtrail, that's evil as well, man.
It's lucky. I don't want to cut you off, man. But another thing with that is, like, you can say that, oh, it's not me, but that's someone that's even ignorant to the depths of what you've done. Like you don't even know as a people what you have done. Just like we don't know the whole of it. You don't know even the smallest amount of it. Right? You can't say you don't deserve it. You just hope you don't deserve it. That someone's gonna spare you, man. But ain't no one gonna spare you, man. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, I'm saying like I mean, the point I mean this man, I mean Esau who's ruling, man, like now is playing them temperature, which affect people mind, I mean spiritual, health wise, people are dying in edge, because of the food that they eat. All this is evil that Esau he been piling himself on, for so long. People now they can I mean the point people are busy work. It's I mean plastic dust, so this is the work of Esau, from the time that he was on the seat until now, man.
That's it, man. I mean, just an example of that, like all that plastic and shit, right? That they find up in these wells and in these fish and stuff like that. That's in the humans too.
Yeah.
Bro, was going into that, man. They find plastic in the blood and shit. And it's like, what the fuck, like Esau is damaging everything. There's not one thing that he ain't touched and damaged and destroyed. And this is the thing, like if time was to continue, man, we'd all be dead. Esau would end up killing himself. Because he's that crazy, he's that fucking mad. And can't see what the fuck the damage he's doing. he's a moron, like.
Yeah. That's why he was blessed with the sword, man. So
yeah.
And what sword do, man? Sword is for destroying, man.
Or what did the Lord say? He that liveth by the sword
shall die by the sword.
Die by the sword. So that's how he's lived. That is how he's actually lived. He's actually lived that way.
Self-destruction.
So what do you think his ending's going to be?
Destruction.
It's always on the cards from the very beginning. It was on the cards, man. Esau couldn't run a kingdom forever even if he wanted to. Even if he was allowed to, he couldn't do it. He ended up destroying everything. You got the earth at balance and make fullness and some shit, man. Because he's on some crazy shit, man. He's on some fucking crazy shit. He'll open up a black hole and shit and everything sucks. He's so fucking mad. Esau's too curious. He wants that knowledge, man, so badly. He wants to know everything. He wants to be God. So he's gonna do those crazy shit to prove that he is God, man. But he's gonna end up being destroyed by his own fucking his own ideas, man. His own wickedness. So this is why he needs to be stopped. And Moses is gonna stop him. Right? He's gonna stop him and put him back down to the level he's supposed to be on, which is at the bottom. Making none of that discovery shit. You know what I mean? Doing none of that stuff. Just break rocks. Just do that. Because that's what you should really only be doing. That's what you're really capable of on a reasonable level. Because everything else you do is unreasonable, man. It's well above your strength.
Yeah. Therefore, says the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profane commit, neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wicked exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood cries unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually.
Oh, what the just complaining about, though? If this world is so great, why is anyone complaining? Like, the just are meant to be complaining. Because you're meant to understand and identify that this world is wicked.
And that's what we're doing right now.
That's right. Cry aloud and spare not. Right? We're not here to be quiet and just to accept things. Like, yeah, on an everyday thing, yeah, we just, we got our lives that we live in and stuff like that. We're waiting to the end. But this is why we teach. And you might think that it's not doing a lot, right? But these not our words. You understand? So it's not about that what we're doing necessarily, but it's what this word is doing. And prophesying is a part of the job that we're commanded to do, right? So we're being obedient to the Heavenly Father and the power that is causing these things to happen, right? So in that sense, it's a great honor to be a part of that, right? But just because we ain't on the streets, cool gats and all this kind of business, thinking that you're gonna take Esau down, that's foolishness, man. Because you ain't gonna succeed in that, But that's not what's required to bring Esau down. That's not the thing that's gonna bring Esau down. Okay, this word is what's gonna bring Esau down, man. What's the scripture? overthrowing strongholds. Was it we wrestled against flesh and blood? Yeah, it's that one. Romans. Is it Romans? I think it's Romans. No. So they're pulling down the strongholds, man. You know, it's this word that's pulling down this place, right? It's not because we're physically active in this world. You know, we're staking out Esau. You know, we're up by the houses and trying to look for them and trying to take them out the game, like Assassin's Creed. You know what I mean? Trying to take them out the game to restore order. This ain't Assassin's Creed, you know, right? All we do is teach the word, and the word takes effect. You know. I know Jake want to seem super cool, and they want to look like they're doing something more than what they're really doing. You know. They want to seem like fucking Power Rangers and action heroes and shit. Real hard men, but at the end of the day, it's these words that are doing the business. You know? Maybe it's not Romans. Actually, no. I should get. Okay, you got something to read, but I'll find it. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. I think it's a picture. But yeah, man, because you know the works that we do, they don't seem impactful, right? Because they're just words. But then tell me what's so different about chanting placards. You know, you're not really achieving nothing by doing that. But at the end of the day, this word is having an effect on the earth. And again, it's not because of us, you know, because these words are already been written. So these things are going to happen regardless, you know. But we're just out here doing what we're commanded to do by coming out here and preaching this.
Yeah. Second Corinthians 10 and 4. The book of Second Corinthians 10 and 3. For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. For the weapons of our war, for the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but might through muscularity to the pulling down of strongholds.
Right, so we don't use carnal weapons, but we use spiritual ones. Right? This book is the spiritual sword. Right? So, like I said, what is going to work is this. Because we can't compete with Esau on a carnal level. Like I said, that is a waste of time. But like I said, you know, Jake want to seem cool. You know, they want to seem like action heroes, man. But you know, the Lord has chosen the weak things of the world to confound those that are strong. You know, that's how it's working. Right?
Casting down imaginations and every idea that exalts itself against the knowledge of Most High, and bring us unto captivity every thought to the obedience of our Master.
Yeah, so everyone's gonna be brought down and put into obedience, man. Right? And like I said, it's not because you've got a gun to your head. Though at that point in time we got spiritual power, you know. So you know, submission is gonna be a thing. You're gonna submit, right? But you're not gonna resist because you don't understand the graveness of the situation. You know, when you're facing angels and gods and stuff, man. You know, you're gonna be crapping it. All right, but that time, you know, will come. But right now, we're commanded to teach, to preach this word. So we cry loud and spare not. We say those things that need to be said against this world. right? But the majority of people on the earth, they don't want to say nothing against it. They don't want to upset nobody unless it's online. Then they're happy to upset anybody because they're behind the scenes somewhere. You know, can't get touched and can't be seen, right? But they continue in this world like nothing's wrong with it. You know.
And having in alertness to revenge all disobedience when your obedience is fulfilled.
That's right.
So when the times comes, that's when we're gonna lose this. When we're gonna lose this stuff. Again with the Lord, that's when we're gonna walk. Exercise the power, man. But right now, as brother say, we need to come out here and teach the word, man. You know, and abide by the law of the land, you know, to the best we can. You know, we don't need to try to upset, you know, the man who is loading right now. But our job is to teach. Because every apologies come from Messiah. So in due time, Messiah is the one who's gonna cast this system down. Not to begin with the Lord, and from that point on, man, we're gonna live together with the Lord.
Right. We're gonna have that. We're gonna have that word of iron, right? So yeah, we're gonna have the authority in the earth. Man. It ain't gonna be down to Esau no more. Because Esau's already done fucked everything up. Okay, we're gonna restore order. Okay, and restore the earth back to how it was. Right? Which is far greater than what it is now. People might marvel at how things maybe are even to this day, but things are greater than this. This planet, this earth is in a weakened state, the weakest state it's ever been in. You know, you don't understand or know of the greatness of earth. You know, the greatness of life. You don't understand those things yet. You haven't experienced it. You know, but we're gonna beginning of our Lord Yahushua, we're gonna, you know, open that way. All right, after the ass whooped. That's right. We'll move on to Job 18 and verse 5. Sure, let's read it through.
So we go Job 18 and 5. Yes, the light of the wicked shall be put out.
Right, the light of the wicked, right? The light of the wicked is really darkness. The light just represents knowledge, right? And understanding. These devils, they know a lot of things. Right? They understand a lot of things, right? But they use what knowledge they have for wickedness. So really it's not enlightening. You know, it's really putting everybody in darkness, man. But that's the light that they wield right this moment in time. Right? But their light is gonna get put out. Okay, yep.
And the spark of his fire shall not shine. The light shall be dark in his tabernacle, and his candle shall be put out with him. The steps of his strength shall be straightened, and his own counsel shall cast him down. For he is cast into a net by his own feet.
Right, so he's cast into a net of his own by his own feet. That he cast it, right? Like I said, everything he's doing is ultimately bringing him to his destruction, and he's gonna get caught up in it. The same way America is doing all these sanctions and that, but really fucking them up. They're screwing themselves over. Everything Esau's doing is screwing themselves over, and he doesn't understand that. He thinks this all equates to the NWO that we want. He thinks this is all to accomplish a greater goal. But the only goal you're going to accomplish is your destruction. That's why it's funny. That's why it's actually a waste of time. Everything you do has been a waste of time. And it's funny, you know? That's why the Most High is going to laugh at your calamity, man. And we're going to laugh. Because you've done all of this, man, for what? So you can get destroyed at the end of it. You've been better off doing none of this, man. And living a peaceful life. But, you know, we all know that's not what he was made to do. All right? Yep.
And his own counsel, and his own counsel shall cast him down.
Right? His own counsel shall cast him down. Now that makes me think about the missiles that these other nations are going to shoot. Right? Those that were with thee shall be against thee. And they shall burn the whole. Right? Also, I'm paraphrasing to the scriptures, Obadiah and Revelation, but You know, basically they're gonna turn against him, right, and destroy him, right?
For he is cast into a net by his own feet.
Even the demons, man, that he counsels, they're gonna go against him. You know, they've been helping him all this time, man. But when it's time to pull the plug and exit the operation, they're gonna leave him. They're gonna leave him defenseless. You know, because they ultimately work for the Heavenly Father. You know, they've been sent to set him up, right? To set him up, and Esau's been set up. Esau think he was the one laying the traps. No, the Most High was laying the traps. He's using you to set your own traps up, man. All right. Yep.
For he is cast into a net by his own feet, and he walketh upon a snare.
Yep.
The jinn shall take him by the hair, and the lawyer shall prepare against him. The snare is laid for him in the ground, and a trap for him in the way. Terrors shall make him afraid on every side, and shall drive him into his feet. His strength shall be hunger beaten, and destruction shall be laid at his side.
But like I say, his strength is being made weak right now. America's getting weakened. Europe is getting weakened. NATO is getting weaker, right? Because the Most High is bringing them to this point now where they can be destroyed. You know, because before it was absurd to come against NATO. Because what nation wants that? That's like a death wish. I mean, it still kind of is. It's gonna be a messy war, right? People are gonna die. People are gonna die. But these nations, they can see that they're weak. Russia knows, China knows that they're weak. Iran knows that they're weak. So there's opportunity now to get out from under this oppressive regime that they've been doing. The hammer of the earth, right? They want to get out from under the hammer. So they see opportunity now to turn the tables. And that's what Russia's doing right now, turning the tables on America and Europe. You know?
It shall devour the strength of his skin, even the firstborn of death shall devour his strength.
Mistake, correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's Yahushua,
Yes.
right? Yahushua is going to come and just destroy them. That's why when Yahushua comes on the white horse, right? On the white horses, the chariots are with him, the angels, right? He's going to go forth and conquer, right? And he's going to take the crowns of the nations. He only said was many crowns, right? In righteousness he doth judge and make war. So Yahushua is coming on a conquering mission. All right? Yep. And the army is going to be destroyed. You're going to have no strength left. Right? He's going to destroy your armies of the world because who's he going to fight? The armies that came to meet him, which is the world's, the rest of the world's armies. America's destroyed. You might have different bases that are still available from the old America, but they're going to be in NATO essentially and fight against the Lord, the common enemy. Independence Day, they come the enemy, they all got together and they fought the aliens, right? Well, that's what they're going to do to come fight the Lord. They're going to band together and fight, like their life depended on it. But we know how that ends. Okay.
So second Ezra 13:1, and it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the wave thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that man was strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth heareth when it appeareth when it appeareth the fire. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number, from the four winds of the heaven, to subdue the man that came out of the sea.
Right, so these are the armies of the rest of the world that still around at the time this happens, because obviously America's going to be destroyed, right? So America itself doesn't have an army, but there may be certain militaries, because obviously America's spread around the world, right? There might be still some sort of units there and thereabouts, right? But they're going to come under another command, right? And they're going to go and face the Lord when it comes to chariots, you know? And they're going to, they're going to push it off like, oh yeah, it's a UFO invasion and we got to fight this and that, blah, 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 blah. That's not a bunch of BS, right? It's the Lord in these chariots that people see around the world. Okay, they're not, aliens from Mars and some shit, right? But they're going to come down, they're going to have the audacity to go up against the Heavenly Father's Son, for all these God-fearing people that they're supposed to be, right? They're going to be in fear. Yeah.
But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain, and he flew up upon it, that I would have seen the region or place whereout the hills was graven, and I could not. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were so afraid, and yet does fight. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up the hand nor held sword.
Hold on, it's like I just thought something, right? Because obviously this is a war in the heavens, right? We know what's going to happen at the end of the war in heaven, right? But that, in the minds of these Christians, that's something that happens between the angels and the demons and stuff, right? But at the beginning of that, they say men gathered together, right? This is talking about men. This ain't talking about no demons and angels fighting in the heavens and some war in the heavens like that. The war in heavens is on earth. It's going to take place in the air, right? But it's going to be filled with men, and that's why when it speaks about the devil and his angels, right? They're not talking about angels. It's talking about men, because they work on behalf of Esau, of Satan, the adversary. These are the armies of the world we're talking about here, right? Yeah, go on up. That's why I get a precept to that. Actually, I might as well start now. Because Revelation 19 and 14 says here, and the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses, clothed in fine linen, white and clean, right? That's the armies of Yahweh Shai, right? So they're the ones that are going to come and meet these armies. The two armies that are fighting, but one's men and the other's the angels in the Lord. Yep.
And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests, and they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke.
Right, so that's how it ends for them. It ends up in a no contest. Well, you can't call it a fight, but it's just no contest. You know what I'm saying? They're going to turn up and be destroyed, right? And that's going to show the whole world, like, these mighty armies of the earth can't do nothing. Like, there's nothing no one can do. They're going to get obliterated in a second, right? So that's going to let the world know, man, bro, this is God. This is the Son of God. These are the angels. These are the men of the Lord. Like, and there's nothing we can do. Like, we're gonna get judged. And that's what we're saying. There's no way to avoid this judgment. You're gonna feel that hopelessness, right? Because there is no hope for the heathen. Because you've done wickedly. That means there's only judgment. Now there's hope for the elect, right? Because not all of our people are going to be destroyed. There's hope, but there is no hope for the other nation, man. You're gonna get judged. Okay, we're gonna get exemption of judgment. Right? Lord willing, they're going to receive exemption from judgment. Okay, the rest of you nations are not exempt. The rest of our people are not exempt. All right? So this thing that you think is dumb, waste of time, right? Well, if that gets this exemption, it ain't gonna feel like a waste of time, is it? You know what I mean? Like I said, in the end, we're gonna be justified in what we've been doing. You know, for however many years brother's been doing it, we're gonna be justified in giving up our lives. You know, and serving the Lord. You're gonna feel ashamed. You're gonna feel fucking. I wish I did that. You know, you Israelites, you're gonna feel like I wish I did that because why am I getting fucked up now? You know, why is this judgment come upon me? Because I didn't fear, I didn't trust in the Lord, I didn't have faith in the Lord, I didn't repent. You know, and you're gonna want to at that point, man. But at that point, it's gonna be too late. You know, you're gonna receive the judgment that's prescribed to you. Yep.
When I saw this, I was afraid. Afterward, I saw the same man come down from the mountain and call unto him another peaceable multitude, which are the elect. And there came much people unto him, whereof some were glad, some were sorry, some of them were bound.
Right. So some of us are gonna be happy that the Lord's here. Some are gonna feel sorry that He's here because they realize they messed up. About people, they're gonna realize they messed up, right? And they know judgment's coming their way. But the elect, they're gonna be happy because we've been waiting for this for so long now. You know, beginning of our orders, of course, we've been waiting for this for so long now. No, we're gonna do nothing but jubilation. You know,
That's what we say, man. We wait for long. You know, I mean, the time when we are, you know, in the time past, you know, this time, you know, we were waiting. Man.
Yeah.
No, because we were here on the earth, but we were those men, you know, doing the same thing, preaching the return of our Lord. Yeah. But in that time, we didn't see, maybe, you know, maybe we didn't see it. But this time, we're going to see, you know, God's word. Man.
Because what was one of the first things the disciples asked the Lord when, you know, he resurrected, right? He said, "Without doubt, at this time restore the kingdom to Israel," because that was the idea. That's what they were told. That's what they was expecting. So they thought, "Oh, now is it now the time?" And the Lord and Yahweh basically said to him that it's not for you to know, right? Meaning like it's not now, but it's, you know, we're in the end times, you know. And he told some of them there, some of you should not see death. But that didn't, like, what did that really mean? Because all of them perished, all of them died, you know. So what did it mean? It means some of you are going to be reserved, you know, at the end when it is time, you know. So that means they have to be back again, you know, because otherwise that statement doesn't make any sense, you know. So you have to come to terms and get to grips with reincarnation to really understand what's being said, man. Otherwise, a lot of statements don't really make any sense, or is the Lord a liar? Like, and if you believe that, man, then you should, you know, look at the scriptures. But we know the Lord is not a liar. All right. So what did He mean? What does it mean? What does it really mean? You have to kind of figure that out, right? So when you go precept upon precept, you start understanding about certain things, concepts that you wasn't really familiar with. Okay, and reincarnation is one of those concepts, man. Because without it, a lot of things don't really make sense. You know. So those men are back here today to receive the lot that they were given. Right? Like I said, we can't tell how, you know, each individual who we are. We're not made to remember. That's the whole idea. We're not made to remember. So we can't claim anything. You know, you might get an idea in the spirit about certain men. You know, like I said, elders and apostles, they're on a higher spiritual level than we are. They can see things that we don't see. You know, and you might not like that, but fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is, right? But you know, we can't say, yeah, that's why we're the hopeful elect, because we have to wait and see. We have to wait and see, right? We can't rest on our laurels. We can't rest on the fact that, oh yeah, I know I'm of the elect. That, you know, we're meant to feel tense, you know, tension. You know, we're meant to feel tension, like not knowing, like shit, like am I right? Am I right? Like, you know, am I? Because if you kick it back, man, you won't be worried about a damn thing, man. You know, you ain't gonna feel the need to pray and all that kind of stuff because you know. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I'm cool, innit? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm gonna go through this and that, but I'm alright, innit? I'm good. No, you're meant to be on your toes.
Yeah, that's why I say, well, man, if you're calling the election sure, man. You know? So you have to work. I mean,
you have to work at it.
Yeah,
that's right. Be on edge. You know, be circumspect. Imagine if you knew your leg, don't matter. I don't care what's going on. It don't matter. But we do have to care. We do have to pay attention. Because we don't know what our ends are going to be. Lord willing, we're on the right side of the Heavenly Father when all things are said and done.
With your own salvation.
Fear and trembling. So if you didn't fear, if there's nothing to fear, like you didn't fear being destroyed at the end of it, then how are you supposed to be moving? Like, how are you conduct yourself if you haven't got fear? You're gonna be lazy and not be putting in effort. You know what I mean? So we have to have that element of fear. I know the scripture says about, the Lord hasn't given you the spirit of fear, but fear of the world. We don't fear the things that are happening, but we do fear the Lord. You are meant to fear the Lord. You are meant to do that. You are meant to fear Him, right? Because He can do anything. That's the thing, but we don't fear what's going on around us. We believe in the Lord. He protects us, right?
Yeah.
We don't fear those things that are happening, but we do fear the Lord.
Yeah, that's what I say. Fear the Lord and live, man. If you don't fear the Lord, man, your end is always going to be destruction, because your way is always going to be trapped and snared, because the knowledge, the wisdom of the Messiah is not going to operate with you.
I was going to make a joke right there. It's like if let's say you're the elect, right, and you don't know though, innit? If you fuck up now, you can't say, yeah, but I'm the elect. Like, how do you know? He said, no, you ain't. But we know the elect will be chosen from the beginning, innit? So those things can't be changed. But it is, at the end of the day, it is what it is, man. The men of the Lord are going to be in the correct spirit, right, to achieve that which is required for salvation. So that's the crux of it. The elect will do what is right,
whether they like it or not.
Yeah,
they're gonna do it.
They're gonna do it.
Yeah, that's gonna do it.
They're gonna do enough to be delivered. And that might differ from person to person. People with different types of levels of mercy. We have to see. But at the end of the day, they're gonna do enough to be delivered. Because none of us are perfect. So technically we should all get destroyed. But the Lord's gonna have mercy upon whom He's gonna have mercy. Right, so He's gonna find certain faults acceptable in certain men, but we're meant to be trying to eliminate as many of those as possible. It's truth. All right. Where you at? Oh yeah, okay.
And there came much people unto Him, whereof some were glad, some were sorry, some of them were bound, and other some, lot of them that were offered, then were I sick through great fear, and I awake and say,
Bro, you hit Joel chapter 18, and wait, we never read that, haven't we?
Yeah, really.
Where did we finish? We finish it.
Yeah, we just finished festival. That's all
we didn't read 21 though, did we?
No, we are festival. Let me read again.
Yeah,
Job 18 and 13.
Oh, you stopped at 13. Okay. Yeah, read on.
It shall devour the strength of his skin, even the firstborn of death shall devour his strength.
Right, so that's why he went to Yahushua, come the angels, right? He's going to come and destroy the strength of the nations, break their teeth, as this speaks about. Right? They're going to be toothless, no power, not threatening. They're definitely not going to be threatening, right? They're going to look weak. Yeah.
Like lion without teeth.
Yeah. Granny lion and stuff, right?
They're gonna die.
Yeah, though I still want to take on a lion. I just got the pause. No, but yeah, they're gonna break the teeth, man. That represents their strength, the power, their ability to kill. Because a lion has to have the teeth to kill and to devour and he's still not gonna be able to devour nothing. Okay.
His confidence shall be looted out of his tabernacle, and it shall bring him to the king of terrors.
His confidence is going to be rooted out. So when he faces the Lord, Yahushua and the angels, his armies, they get decimated. You think that's going to do? They think they're going to feel proud then? They ain't going to feel proud. They be distraught. Like they know it's over. Their armies didn't do nothing. So all these generals and everybody that are waiting to see what's going to happen, they're gonna like, oh shit, and they're gonna be going into panic rooms and bunkers. They're gonna, be trying to hide, hide themselves from the Lamb, right? You ain't gonna escape from the Lamb. The wrath of the Lamb is gonna come upon you, man. And you're gonna get taken out wherever you are, you know.
His confidence shall be looted out of his tabernacle, and it shall bring him to the king of terror. That king of terror is the Messiah himself. Man.
Yeah.
If you don't, get him and ask the Egyptian, man. Almost they have done to them, man.
Yeah.
They have put terror left and right.
Yeah. Gonna make all your nightmares come true, man.
Yeah. It shall dwell in the tabernacle, because it is none of his. Brimstone shall be scattered upon his habitation.
Yep. Brimstone, well, that's the fire that comes from heaven to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, right? Well, that's what's gonna happen to America. And that they're saying, the rest of these nations are gonna catch something. They're definitely gonna catch something. Okay, but America, especially a special judgment. Where the most of the missiles are going there. But yeah, the Lord's gonna come and bring fire down even more. Even the angels and the chariots, they're gonna bring fire down. Yep.
It shall dwell in the tabernacle, because it is none of his. Brimstone shall be scattered upon his habitation. His roots shall be dried up beneath, and above shall his branch be cut off.
Right? This is the ultimate judgment. Esau's gonna be cut off from the earth. He ain't gonna have no living posterity. Right? Yeah, he's gonna be taken alive. Those that remain for servants for 1,000 years, but after that, the Lord's gonna remove them from the earth. Right? Yep.
His remembrance shall perish from the earth, and he shall have no name in the street.
Not like that. You go around, all these streets are named after somebody, or somebody's, named the street or whatever. There's gonna be no hint of a certain man existing out of the nation of Esau. They're the name, their lineage is not gonna be something people are gonna mention, really. They're not gonna be remembered. Obviously we're gonna know, because this is a great event that took place, right? That the Edomites were ruling upon the earth, and the land of America, and what happened there. Obviously people are gonna know, but people are not gonna be thinking about it like today. Everyone knows who Esau is. Everyone knows, oh, this man, this president, or this man, or this, whoever it is, this star. Everyone's talking about Esau, right? But ain't no one gonna be talking about Esau like that, right? And nobody even gonna look to him like anything. Yeah, nobody, because there's gonna be no bodies left. Nobody's left. Yeah.
He shall be driven from the light, from light into darkness, and chased out of the word.
Chased out. We're gonna put into flight, because essentially he's gonna be gotten rid of. Right? We're gonna we read about extinguishing his light. His light's gonna be taken out. Right? Yep. Yep.
He shall neither have son nor nephew among his people, no any remaining in his dwelling.
So how can Esau be saved? How can there be some small contingency of Esau surviving when the Lord said there's going to be no son, no nephew? That's posterity right there. That means there ain't going to be no children after that period of time. There ain't going to be no surviving members of the house of Esau. No good Edomite. There ain't going to be no good Edomite. Even after 1,000 years, is there going to be a good Edomite? Not, after all that correction, it's still not going to be a good Edomite, man. Yep.
They that come after him shall be as stone at his day, and they that went before were affrighted. Sure, such as are the dwelling of the wicked, and this is the praise of him that knoweth not Messiah.
Right. And there's no Esau. Esau acts like the high and mighty, like he above God. Like God did it. If God exists, he did everything wrong. that I got to be here now correcting everything. I got to make the GMO food because there's not enough food on the earth, and I got to correct this. I got to do this. I got to do that. Oh, you don't know what a man and a woman is, so I'm going to decide what a man and a woman is, and oh, you could change it. Do all this effed up madness, this effed up shit that he does, because he thinks he's better. He thinks he's above that. He thinks he's wiser. You know, but he's just wise in wickedness. He just has knowledge of wickedness. That's all he has.
You said one that is from the movie that you watch everybody teach your own children to be rebellious to their parents. But according to the word of the Heavenly Father as well, children need to what? To obey. Oh,
yeah. To honor their mother and their father.
This word they teach them to be rebellious. So Esau is trying to tell them, like Mosiah, what way is not the true way.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And that's rebellious. That's the spirit of proudness, man. You know? And we understand Mosiah hate the proud, you know, that's and right. He's going to come and destroy them. You know?
Yep. So this is why all this judgment is going to come upon Esau, man. They come upon this world because of their wickedness. You know, they don't know their Heavenly Father. Right? They don't understand or do his ways. They think it's like a fairy tale that, oh, it doesn't matter. Like in the movie, just do what you want. In the movie, they basically is encouraging the child to do what they want to do, regardless of who was telling them anything. You know, but well, I say it end up badly, but then they kind of turn it around again, and you know, they was right for what they were doing, but fuck that shit. But shit happened, obviously, for them going after their own lusts. You know, but that's what Esau promotes and teaches, to go after your own lusts, and we provide you with your lusts and where you can go and do this and do that and become that. But all of this is wickedness, man, and it brings judgment. It brings judgment, and people don't understand that. They think they can get away with doing this stuff and there's no repercussions. You know, but there will be. You know. Grab Isaiah 19 and 14. Chapter 19, verse 14.
Book of Isaiah 19 and 14, which reads, "The Lord has mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggers in his vomit."
Right, so the Most High's got it where everything that's going on right now, ain't nothing really working out. Like they err in everything that they do. Right, so going back to this Russia, US, and Europe thing, right, the whole gas situation, like they think, well, not that they think, they know what they're doing, but what they're doing is adversely affecting them. Right, so it don't look like whatever decision that they make, it's just gonna make things worse. You know, but like I said, the elites know what they're doing because they've been moved to do that, right, to make shit worse so they can collapse this economy. That's the goal, right? That is the goal and aim of everything's collapsing. Okay, because then they get to introduce this digital, this digital system that they've been preparing. Right, they're gonna move on from the regular dollar and the pounds and that kind of stuff. They're gonna move on to a new system, but this is all part of collapse, right? And everything they do, every decision that they make, causes that collapse, right? And it causes them to be trapped in their own snare, in which they're making. All right. So, like I say, it's the Most High is making them do that, which is, like I say, if you had the foresight to know that, it's moronic. Like everything you're doing is causing your destruction. Like, so if you was privy to that, you wouldn't do it, right? But they know the scriptures. The elites know the scriptures. So why are they doing it? The Most High is making them do it. So they earn everything that they're doing, man. They think they're accomplishing something. They're not. They end up being destroying themselves.
Okay.
Yep.
It's the book of Proverbs 21:1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, as the rivers of water, he turneth it whatsoever he will. Every way of a man is light in his own way, in his own eyes, but the Lord understands the heart. So Messiah is in control, man. You know, wherever you are doing your doings, man. I mean, the word there, your deed, your doings, is all to accomplish the will of the Heavenly Father, man.
Yep.
You know, be it, I mean, this policy that you're making, crashing the economy, everything is fulfilling the will of the Heavenly Father, man, which is fulfilling the prophecies which are in the Bible, man, which is we are expecting to see, man. RFID microchip, which is MOTB, on your head, man. You know?
This favor. You finished with that?
Yeah.
Jump up.
Uh,
Yeah, jump up into verse 11.
1911.
Yeah, 1911.
So people of Isaiah 19 and 11. Sure, the prince of the one are fools. The counsel of the wise counselors of Pharaoh is become brutish.
All right, so this represents Esau, right? And they've become fools. They've become brutish in what they're doing, man. Like it's like they're doing things like not using any intelligence. They're meant to be smart people, but what they're doing is all stupidity. And people can see that, or people that that pay attention can see that. Like, what are they doing? Like, why would you do that? If you're trying to help, why would you do that?
Yeah, you see now. C19, like,
yeah, all these
people,
decisions that they've been making is really been detrimental to everybody and to everything. So they've become fools, man. Yeah.
Yeah. How say ye unto Pharaoh, I am a son of the wise, the son of ancient kings.
Yeah, these meant to be high level men, like that understand these types of things, but they're making all the stupid moves. Yeah.
Where are they? Where are they? Where are thy wise men?
Like where they gone? Like, because these people obviously not wise. So where are they? Where are the wise men to come and help and rectify this problem? There's none. Yeah.
And let them tell thee now, and let them know that the Lord of hosts has purpose upon Egypt.
Right, which represents America. Yep.
The princes of the one are become fools.
Yep.
The princes of north are deceived. They have also seduced Egypt, even they that are the stay of the tribes thereof. The Lord has mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every way thereof, as a drunken man staggers in his vomit. Neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail.
Yeah.
Neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or lash may do.
Right, because it's gonna get so bad, man, that people already been losing their jobs and stuff like that. So it's like that's gonna increase, and you're gonna find America's just gonna come to a standstill. Everything's gonna get effed up because this whole economy thing and the increase in cost of prices and fuel, electric, gas, whatever it is having an effect on businesses. They're gonna have to shut down because they're not gonna be able to cope with the raising costs. Because who's buying their products? Right? That's gonna slow down, right? That's gonna slow down. Like if there's a war between China and like the whole economy is affected, and if everyone's getting poorer, which they are, who's buying products? So there's multiple angles and factors why the work and everything that's going on in America is just gonna dry up, man. Yep.
So in that day shall Egypt be like unto woman, and it shall be afraid and fear because of the shaking of the arm of the Lord of hosts, which he shaketh over it.
Yeah, that's it. These are so-called Americans, right? They want to be panicking. They're going to be in a panic state, right? Because of the destruction that's coming upon that time, and they've never experienced America like how it's going to be. Like I say, it's not the Golden Cup no more, right? It's going to come a place of desolation, right? And it's going to go out. The process of it breaking down, man, people are gonna be like, oh, shit, what's going on? They're gonna be afraid, man. They ain't gonna know what's going on. You know, they ain't gonna sleep left and right and find any safe haven or you know positivity. You know, they ain't gonna find it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So he was going, I mean, down like the rivers.
We're gonna close up in a second. Um, grab us Obadiah, from verse 8, I believe.
So book of Obadiah 1 and 8, verse 8. Shall I not in that day, say the Lord, even destroy the wise men out of Edom and understanding out of the mount of Esau?
All right, so they're looking like idiots right now. Everything they're doing seems idiotic. You know, like stupid chickens just running around making decisions and dumb ones. But it's a part of the plan. But anyone that can, anyone like I said that pays attention can see what they're doing is just fucking stupid. You know. But I said the Most High is the ones got them doing this. Yep.
And thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter.
All right, so that is the inevitable end of Esau, man. And all this confusion that's going on right now is just a sign of Esau's end. This incompetency, or this showing of incompetency, right? The fact that the whole world is getting brought down low. It's all signs of the time is up. Time is running short for Esau, man. This is the end of his kingdom, right? And the reason, I mean, there's many reasons on why Esau's being brought down. Gabriel goes on to read about the violence against the brother Jacob, right? Because that is the main factor in all of this, right? Because it's the same reason why the Most High judged Egypt, because of us. You know, yes, the Egyptians were wicked anyway, but so was every other nation on the planet. You know, they were all into idol worship. The Lord, was probably doing his own personal thing with them. But the great destruction of Egypt came because you had these people. You know, that's why it came, and the great oppression you put upon them. Well, America holds the Israelites. All the tribes of Israel are there, right? And you kept them oppressed in that land, right? So America is going to be destroyed with great destruction, right? I don't think you're innocent. Like, how could you be? How could you be? Your history tells you that you are innocent, man. That you got plenty of blood on your hands, right? So, like I said, we're happy that justice is finally being dealt, and we enjoy watching the demise of this kingdom, You might as well carry on. You got something, remember?
Yeah.
Okay.
The book of Nahum 3 and 1. Woe to the blood seat. It is all full of lies and robbery. They pray depart not. And that blood seat is America, and we are the prey, man. Until this day we are still in their hand. They shed the blood of the innocent men. I mean the so-called Native America, which are Israel, they shed them. Their blood, man. They use to wait the night men or the men go hunting. Them Edomite, being coward they are, they just walk. Invade, they
come on like serpents.
Yeah, come like a serpent and walk. Kill the women and children and all. They hold people, man.
Yeah.
So when the men come back, man, see what? Their family, their loved one, and what? Slaughtered, man. And that's still inspired them from their blood.
And then they had the cheek of pulling them savages but look at you, man. You're the worst one. I mean, yeah, Jake weren't in the right minds. Some Jake were doing some mad shit. But you, Esau, you so-called white people, you're the worst ones on the earth, man. And you would never accept that. But that is the truth, man. History will tell you. You want to make everyone else worse than you are. But you're the worst one. You're the basis of all men. You actually are the worst of all heathens, man. You know, so you ain't got no place to grandstand, man. You got no place to grandstand, right? And as I say, everything's being revealed on you, man. The Most High revealing all your secrets, and shame is, shameful experience come upon your kingdom, man. You know, so we enjoy watching the demise of this place and justice being done. You know, much to people's dislike, but it is what it is. You have to accept what it is. You accept, that you have to pay for your crimes. But you might as well just finish up with that. What's up?
On thy madmen, ought a man shall be dismayed to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter.
So that cutting off again. Like I said, that great judgment before the Edomites to be cut off, right? Because in the scripture, someone's getting cut off, right? And the Esau's getting cut off, right? So someone's got to decide who's Esau. Someone's got to say, yeah, we're Esau. Someone has to say it, but no one wants to say it. No one wants to say that they're Esau, man, because someone's getting cut off, right? But we know who Esau is. Okay, prophecy is telling us very clearly who that is, right? Yep.
For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, Shem shall cover thee.
Right, this is why you're being shamed, because look at all the things you've done to our people. And like I said, there's so much history that we know, right? That's been put out there. That's bad, right? But there's so much history that we don't know, right? That's worse, But shame is coming upon you, man, for all these things, man. And the fact you're just generally fucking mad, wicked, But the Most High's got a real problem with what you've done to us. All right. Yep.
For the violence against thy brother Jacob, Shem shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. In the day that thou stoodest on the
forever, I swear, like you're not even coming back. You're not even coming back like that.
As we're gonna be ruling forever, you're gonna be destroyed forever.
Yeah. And I say we don't know what's gonna happen with your spirits after you can cut off from this world, man. But that's we ain't gonna worry about that. But Esau as a nation, you ain't gonna be a nation no more. You ain't gonna have no land inheritance or rights because you ain't gonna have nothing. You ain't gonna be around. The land of Esau is gonna become part of Judah. So there's nothing for you to claim. Your inheritance has been revoked. Because the Most High gave you that land, right? But that wasn't enough for you. You wanted the earth. But where it got you got nothing out of it. So whatever happens to you after that, man, that's none of our concern. But just know, as a people, you're getting eradicated.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yep.
In the day that thou stoodest on the other side, in the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces, and foreigners entered into his gates, and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou was as one of them.
So you've always been around, man, as a snake you are, preying on our people. Even if it wasn't you directly, the great power that was there, destroying us, man. You was around, man, participating, waiting for your opportunity. Like a serpent, the slippery snake that you is, man. Yep.
But thou shouldest not have looked on the day of thy brothers, of thy brother in the day that he became a stranger. Neither shouldest thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction. Neither shouldest thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress.
Right? So you wasn't meant to speak proudly against us. We wasn't meant to be rejoicing at our downfall. But there's plenty of pictures and postcards and all that kind of stuff with you smiling and laughing when you was hanging us. Like it was a big fucking joke. There's plenty of that on record. So you can't say you weren't doing these types of things. Right? Yep.
Thou shouldest not have entered into the gates of my people in the day of their calamity. Yea, thou shouldest not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity, nor have laid hands on their substance.
Right? You took spoils, man. You took spoils from us. Not only that, like this has been matter in times past when under when we different captivities under the Babylonians, Assyrians, and that kind of stuff, right? But speaking about now, more recent, right? You came into the lands that we're in and took our lands and took the resources from the land. And you do that with everybody, but the Most High is concerned about what you've done to us. You know, you've always continued to exploit us and take spoils from us, man. And that's why you're so goddamn rich now. You got families that are trillionaires out there, man. The elites, Rothschilds, they're trillionaires and shit.
Yeah, most of these major companies, they all benefited from our downfall.
That's right.
Like this, the insurance company, the banking company,
Yep.
banking, they all benefit from their downfall. You know, they all benefit from us.
Whole economies were being run off us, man.
Yeah.
You know, these different cities and stuff, they're getting run off us. You became rich off us, man. And you got a problem with even just talking about reparation. Not that that's going to be enough. You know, it can never be enough, man. We're going to take everything. We're going to take everything from you. Every last little thing we're going to take from you, man. Your lives are ours. You know? Hey, because the scripture says, man, we're going to have to receive the heathen for an inheritance. So we're going to take everything, man. Yeah, it's lucky, right?
Yeah, when I took found out, the apostle mentioned it, when I looked at it, like, to show, I mean, this, but it showed like a strategic company, like in America itself, but they gain from our, I mean, from the labor that they put in.
So they were still gaining until recently.
Yeah.
You know, because they were getting paid in, you know, well, they were getting paid reparations essentially, you know, for the loss of business that they lost. But nothing happened to our people, you know, no help, you know.
One of them is North China. Yeah,
Why am I not surprised? You know,
like JP Morgan as well.
yep.
They all, I mean, and this one, and Rothschild.
Rothschild, Sons, yep.
So, yeah. They get them, I mean, them wealth because of our own. For us, I mean, being under this thing.
Yep.
You know? All this is going to get back. All the wealth that they have taken from us, it's going to be paid back by Mosiah. And Mosiah is going to make them to pay.
Yep. You're going to vomit up your riches, man. You know? You're going to have no need for them. Yep.
Thou shouldest not have entered into the gate of my people in the day of their calamity. Yea, thou shouldest not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity, nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity. Neither shouldest thou have stood in the crossway to cut off those of his that did escape. Neither shouldest thou have delivered up those of his that did remain in the day of his distress. For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen, as thou hast done.
Didn't you read that earlier?
I did.
You know, indignation against all nations, against all the heathens.
Yeah.
Right? Because you've all done something. You've all done something against the children of Israel. Right? Yep.
For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee.
You're the worst one. Right? You acted the worst, so you're going to receive the worst judgment. Yep.
Thy reward shall return upon thine own head.
So all this thing that you've been trying to build, this everlasting kingdom, thinking you're going to obtain some glory, you're going to receive evil, man. You're going to receive destruction. All this you built is for your own destruction now. It's stupidity, man. Just because you didn't want to listen. You didn't want to listen to the Heavenly Father and his words, you know? And now look what you've done to yourself. Look at you. You know?
For as ye have drunk upon my whole mountain, so shall all the heathen drunk continually. It's not one time, continue.
Mm.
It's gonna be bondage after bondage, man. Yeah, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been.
Right? So that drinking down is representing that destruction, man. Because the Lord made us drink that wine, which we was destroyed, right? We was put into captivity. Well, guess what? All these other nations, they're gonna drink, and you're gonna drink. Right? And there's no refusing that cup. Okay, the Lord is gonna reward you with that judgment. Yep.
But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness.
So there's hope for Zion, there's hope for Israel. We have a way out of this madness. But you heathens, you have to pay. You have to pay. We've been paying, right? But now you have to pay. Right? The Lord is gonna have mercy on his elect, but you now have to pay. Right? Yep.
And there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions.
Well, who's gonna possess whose possessions? Israel gonna possess your possessions. We're gonna possess you. We're gonna get back everything that you took. This is what we're saying. We were speaking about just now, right? So we're gonna take back everything that was stolen from us, man. Right? And the blessing is gonna be in full effect. Because our blessing was part of our blessing was for nations to serve us. Right? So that is gonna go into full effect. You're gonna become a servant. Yep.
And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord has spoken.
Right, so this is where it all ends for Esau. Like I said, he's been doing all this madness, thinking that he's going to achieve some great glory and rule forever and do all his business, right? But it's going to end with him having nothing. You know, and I say that's irony, right? That he's trying to get it all, but he ends up with nothing. You know, and like I said, you're going to become a servant, and after that, you know, you're going to be removed from the earth. Okay, you're going to be devoured, right? And like I said, what happens after that, man? Who cares? You know, we don't care. We're not bothered, right? But as a nation, Esau's going to be gone. All right, so Rock, I hope he ain't no fucking Edomite, but you know, his case ain't looking too good. But you know, but with that, you know, we're gonna say Shalom. I hope this is edifying. You know, we give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Hashem, Chachadash, and you know, double honors unto the elders, the apostles, you know, out there, and Shalom to the brothers and sisters out there, man. So Shalom.
Shalom, shalom.